But you gotta at least show Tim.
Lean on me, buddy.
You gotta at least show Tim how you're sitting
Tim's
like a person before you stop doing
like
it, because this is hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, he looks so goofy, dude.
He's such a goofy dog.
Yeah, he is.
So, Tim, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good.
And we have officially started too. Welcome back to Rapid Respawn.
Oh, fucking welcome back, everyone. We're here with another episode coming to you live with the sound of
Link is here.
Alex.
Yeah. Link, he's like making his presence known tonight. Not as much as when he crawled across us.
No, that was
when we played Mafia.
That was a little intense.
He thought he was going to knock
You were using
over.
him as a desk to play Mafia.
Well, he didn't give me any other choice.
No. It was like a cat laying on the keyboard, but it was like a video game equivalent of that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just glad we have 4 people tonight.
Alright, there he goes.
Because Link does count as part of the co-host.
Oh, totally.
Oh, yeah.
Of course. Whoa. Alright, you're pulling on cords.
Yeah, we're gonna have a problem.
Well, Tim, how's your week been? Have you played anything interesting? You watching anything interesting? I know you caught. I sent you a bunch of what I thought were the highlights of Gamescom, which I shared with Alex pre-stream as well.
No, you stepped on my balls, dude. We're not friends.
Yeah, we got you on the stream, buddy. You can go lay over there.
Yep.
I gotta say, out of all of them you sent me, I'm Black Myth Wukong. I am immensely excited for, because
that's one of my highest.
It looks great for sure.
So I can't wait to eventually get my hands on that. But
supposedly a 2023 release window as of right now. That could change. We'll see. But it's also we've been seeing it for a couple of years now, so it could be.
How often do you get a chance to really dive into Chinese mythology? Dude?
Very rarely.
Yeah, I was gonna say never. So that's very cool.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. I'm sorry, Tim. I totally cut you off. What were you gonna say? Another title though, I believe.
Oh, then there was, what was it? Callisto Protocol is another one I'm really interested in seeing. The gameplay, the cadence, the atmosphere, the lighting, just
Dead Space 4, man.
Is kind of, I'm really liking that.
I really like the fact that you just have to basically toss them into cheese graters to keep them from healing and
which
getting
you can get caught in
tougher and stuff. Yeah,
too. You can get caught in those those environmental.
I just like the idea of a monster so hard to kill that you just basically have to blend it. That's pretty scary. Because
so Tim, they didn't. I watched a separate interview where they talked about this, and you kind of see it in the trailer, but if you don't realize that's what you're seeing, I don't know if you necessarily pick up on it. But in Dead Space, you shoot the limbs off the necromorphs, you get 3 limbs off, they go down. Now with I believe they're called the biophage in the Callisto Protocol. If you shoot the limb, one limb off, but don't kill it, it will grow not just the same limb again, but it will grow something different, and it'll mutate to have different abilities. So if the longer it stays alive and regenerating, it will mutate into a different monster over time.
That was super cool visually, dude. To see him change like that was pretty cool.
Yeah, because you see it regrow a head, but again, if you don't know, that's what you're looking at. I don't know if it's obvious or if it just looks like they've
you explained that to me. I didn't understand that,
but yeah, I can't wait for that either. I mean, it's been since 2012 since Dead Space 3 came out, and that one wasn't even that great. So it's been since 2011 since Dead Space 2 was a great game.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, we're getting the Dead Space remake in January and the Callisto Protocol in December. So we just went, like, a decade without the Dead Space, like, franchise or, like, anything really quite like it. And now there are basically two Dead Space games coming out, like, within a month of each other.
Interesting, for sure.
But, yeah.
The horror space genre is really kind of getting a couple of good installations. But Callisto Protocol makes me wonder, like, how in space is it, or is it still?
Well, the Callisto Protocol is on there might be some actually set in space. I guess we'll see. But the primary, like, location and like, you know, setting of the game is a prison colony on a planet. Or on a moon, or it's a moon, I think.
Okay. I
think it's a moon. It's one of Saturn's moons. I
do think a prison planet is pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Like that's a
didn't work so well in Alien 3.
No, but like I think that, like as a setting.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's funny because the original Dead Space was supposed to be a prison planet, and then they got Glenn Schofield was the creator, head of development of the Dead Space games, and then this is his new studio. This is his game. So Callisto Protocol is basically taking what the original concept for Dead Space was, and then fleshing that out into its own different thing.
That's cool.
Because the rest of his team all kind of pushed for the spaceship setting, which ended up being great.
Right.
But now it's cool that he was able to kind of put that in his back pocket.
His full vision realized. Yeah, that's cool.
And then go back and do the whole 10 years later, basically.
All right.
Almost like activating his trap card of video game development.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah. Well, Tim, any other notable highlights that you were super excited about?
What was it? The other one, it was Where the Winds Meet.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Where Winds Meet. Yeah, I think that looks pretty intriguing. I mean, it's another, like we were just saying, how often do you get Chinese mythology with Black Myth Wukong coming up?
Yeah.
And then Where Winds Meet is another one.
Yeah, is that going to be like kind of heavy on the mythology or more?
It's going to be
more of just like a historical both. Chinese.
Oh, there's like creatures even in that trailer.
Yeah. But I didn't
definitely.
know.
I think it'll be less mythology than
Black Myth Wukong.
Yeah, than Black Myth Wukong will be. I think it'll be a bit more of a mixture, but it is going to have some of that too.
The historical settings for video games. If Assassin's Creed hadn't overstayed its welcome, I'd still really just love the fact that those games exist, and they're even cool just to walk through the historical environments, even if the games are like I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely no. I mean, that's still cool to see just a world. I mean, like when Notre Dame burned down.
Yeah, right. And they had all that.
Well, that's I don't even know how the progress on rebuilding that is going. But they were the way they're rebuilding it is by using the Assassin's Creed Unity's design, the in-game design of Notre Dame, because it is so unbelievably accurate.
Well,
that they can actually rebuild the real thing using the Assassin's Creed game version of it.
Unity as a game company, right? But they've started to transition and like kind of build a business in modeling these things just for people who need to use it for like architectural purposes or for like testing and stuff. So
that is cool.
Yeah, so they're doing that for like engineering purposes and for like museums or places like that, and like recording information storage. So they're like their company's got like a massive valuation now. And a lot of that's more to do with that than even making video games now, because people are you can make these models so well,
right? Absolutely.
That we could test like all of these things in basically a video game version using your engine.
That's how you get the Matrix, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's how the Matrix happens.
But yeah,
just saying, we're gonna do it to ourselves.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
But I mean, yeah, you're right though about Assassin's Creed. Like, if only it hadn't overstayed its fucking welcome. I mean, annual releases is a big part of that.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it turned into it turned into a Call of Duty.
I mean, dude, how crazy was Ghost of Tsushima? Dude?
Well, Ghost of Tsushima is what I like. That's the thing is like, people wanted Assassin's Creed to do a Japanese or Chinese or just Eastern of some kind setting for so long, and now I'm hearing rumors that they are final. That's like finally what the next one's going to be.
Okay,
and like, but the Ghost of Tsushima is what I would have wanted from a Japan Assassin's Creed back in the day already. Right, like that's what I would have. That's what I would have wanted it to be. Was something along those lines. So someone already came and did it better than. Ubisoft is going to do it as well.
No,
not anymore. Anyway,
not with the soul that was in Ghost of Tsushima. Like that game was just.
But it goes for like any setting, right? Like any setting now that like if someone else or like where Windsmeet doing a Chinese setting, which is that game's even though it's going to be methodological a bit more, it's taking a lot of inspiration from Ghost of Tsushima's gameplay. So you're in like style. So even though it's China, not Japan, it's got some mythology. Even though Ghost of Tsushima didn't really, it is going like it's still somewhat inspired and based on that. So like that takes away, Assassin's Creed really doing China as like a cool. Finally, someone did China as a cool video game setting. Someone else is doing it first. Someone else in Japan first. Like Assassin's Creed is not going to have anything to go to.
Somebody's got to do Mayas and Aztecs hard.
Yes, Mayan, Incan, Mayan, Aztecs, just something meso.
Incans are so fucking cool, dude. That society, I would love to see something like that.
The badass open world video game set in an ancient Incan, Aztec, or Mayan society. So fucking cool. So, like, Tim, do you know of a game set in any of those places that I just maybe haven't heard about? Because I really want that.
Kind of like an open world Mesopotamian game.
You know what? It doesn't even have to be open world. Honestly, it can be a linear level based game.
I mean, Mesopotamia would be fucking cool.
Well, Mesopotamia, Mesopotamia would be badass too. Yeah, I definitely don't
like Sumeria or something, like a Gilgamesh game. Would be fucking like a real like
Gilgamesh game,
or just any of those like Sargon of Akkad, or just like those early first civilization type shit.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah. Babel. I mean, you'd have to make some stuff up, but our historical record isn't the greatest of Babylon.
Dude, just to like somebody to do an amazing rendering of like what descriptions we have of the Hanging Gardens.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, the Hanging Gardens were one of the wonders of the world, dude. Like, imagine how crazy that must have looked in Babylon.
Honestly, I hope God of War shows like a bunch of these places. Yeah, because now that it's God of War's doing it, this like
you would feel like maybe you would think that maybe like the true finale to God of War would be him going to like the first gods or something like that.
Well, I think
they might do that with Egypt, though. To be honest,
like, that's true.
Like
my prediction
that's as far back as they're planning on going.
There could be that could be, but when I think that they're the ultimate like this is my theory on where the direction of not the story but the character itself of Kratos. Yeah. So like, all right. He's kind of a decent dad now, right? That is only so redemptive when he caused like a cataclysmic, apocalyptic genocide of Greece, and at least at the time we thought of the whole planet.
What do you think? Make him like Jesus?
Well, no, I think that's why we spent so much time learning about Tyr. Because Tyr in Norse mythology is a god of negotiation, of stopping wars, of keeping peace.
Oh, sure,
He is a war god, but it is in an opposite like effect, right? And they talk about like that's why Tyr has like the Egyptian treasure and the map with the different places on it, is because he brokered peace between all the different like lands before. And I think what we're going to see is a war very nearly or probably full on breakout between all of the pantheons again. And then Kratos' character arc will basically it'll end with him actually saving the world from like this crazy apocalypse by brokering peace between all the gods. And so he will still be the god of war, but he'll be a god of war like Tyr was a god of war.
Okay,
that's my because otherwise how do you actually have Kratos have a redemptive story arc as a whole? Like, yeah, he could be a good dad to his own kid, and like he still killed like fucking millions of people by getting his own petty vengeance, right? Like that's still so like I don't know. That's what I think makes the most sense.
That makes sense. All right.
We
gotta play some game. We gotta play some of this game.
We do. A few small fires provide some calm for the caravan. Though the villagers keep well away from the ravens, there's enough light to see you're no longer in a man-made mine, but a natural cave. Turn down here. I thought that was out. We keep heading down like we're hunting dwarves. Gives you a ghost of a smile. Till today, no one but a few on the council knew about these tunnels. We didn't create them, but in the Lord of the Rings, that the dwarves, right, them waking up the Balrog.
Yeah.
So Morgoth had a series of interconnected tunnels that go across the entire continent.
Okay,
and that's how he would ambush the other gods and shit. And so that in his army was the Balrogs. So that when they dig in that first movie and they've awoken the Balrog, they're digging into those tunnels.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's badass. All right.
Becomes quiet, awaiting a question. Where do they go? Everywhere. Okay, that's got to be what this is based on, right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's got to be what this plot element in this game is based on.
Yeah,
that's
clearly
kind of what it's seeming.
Clearly, there is Lord of the Rings inspiration in this game.
Oh, 100%.
Right, especially with the journeying across the land. And,
right.
I mean, even the way that, like you say, Oregon Trail, and it totally has that in its gameplay.
Yeah, right.
But, the visual of just a group of people walking on foot across large landscapes.
That does feel very Lord of the Rings.
I mean, not that that's the Lord of the Rings is the only place that ever did that, but they probably did it
groups of people have been walking for a long time.
Groups of people have been walking.
That was a lot of human history.
Are you sure this isn't just based off of the Settlers of Catan?
I mean, maybe, but in terms of a visual image of characters inspired by Nordic mythology and pop culture, right? I feel like it's got to be taking after that a bit.
Yeah.
Not sure anyone knows the full extent of the underground pass, but we are about to enter a corridor, one of the main tunnels. Are there creatures in here? That's what I want to know. Is there a big monster down here?
Yeah.
Because why keep it a secret? Where would you go knowing you possess the sleeping body of the immortal Sunder? So that's why. Oh yeah, because you were 2 ago you guested on, and then last time you were not here. Yeah. So we were carried around this big fucking box, right?
Okay, sure.
And it turns out that the reason that the dredge creatures are just following us is because we have their dead god's body in this box.
Oh damn!
And we didn't know.
That's
Wait, he's not really dead. Either. They used that basically that they had to use the end of the first game is them having to. This is how the daughter dies is having to use this magic arrow to influence this creature's mind to trick it into thinking it was able to die because he can't die. So it's like magic keeping him in a death-like state.
Huh.
So if they get him back, they could easily just wake him up again.
Sure. Yeah.
So we've got him fucking just carting him around in this box, trying to get him away from its species.
Huh. Damn.
Oh shit! When did you find out that it was the Sunder General?
That was the end of the last stream.
That's right.
Right around the end of the last one.
That's
I think.
interesting.
Maybe a little bit. I think we did that battle after, and then we retreated into the tunnels. And did we have the horse people when you were here?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, we did have the horse people.
We did see the horse people.
Safe place to secure the body. Whatever drew the dredge army toward us, and Bindal, the council can find a way to stop it. What about my ravens? Valka pays less than a bloodshed coin. That's why I'm talking to you alone now. The corridor will lead us to Manahar in a week's time. So yes, there safely, and I give you a genuine Volca oath. You will be rewarded well enough to never need work again. Does that actually sound like a good deal to these beings? Because I feel like these are exactly the kind of fantasy creature that would be bored as shit if they just had like an infinite amount of resources and needed to do nothing. Yeah. Right? Like, don't these seem like dudes that would like...
Especially at, like, in a society like this, where the entertainment options are so limited. I mean,
yeah, they have no video games, no movies,
like... Actually, like, if you didn't have work, I don't know, you'd just, like, sit on, like...
You'd die, probably.
You'd sit in, like, a pile of hay all day and, like, I don't know, stare at the wall, drink, like... And it's like...
I mean, you talk about old people in, like, a modern society dying when they retire, right, because they don't have, like,
and
a purpose.
They have Wheel of Fortune, dude. Like, I mean,
yeah, right. Like they have. I mean, they got a lot of time with Bob Barker. So.
I'm not saying like Jeopardy reruns, are worth living for, but like it passes the time.
I'm sure there are people that feel like they are.
I
feel like there are people.
I feel like there's Alex Trebek was a good guy, man, but like. If that's all you got, just die.
I'm going to stick up for Jeopardy just a little bit because like least that. Well, okay,
I'm just saying you can't live for it. Like that can't be your only reason to live.
That's fair.
That's all I'm saying. It can't be your only reason.
Yeah, that's true. Jeopardy. Otherwise,
I like Jeopardy. Yes.
There you go.
Oh my god. All right, go on.
You look around at the cave walls and back the way you came. We'll go to Manhar, where we were heading there after the Blue River anyway. Alright, we're already rested. Alright, let's go.
These scenes are pretty cool, dude.
Right? They're fucking, I mean, yeah, the artwork in this game, it's fantastic. Scout rushes back to the caravan. There's gold down here. You feel a surge of excitement just like everybody else. A vein as thick as my leg just around. Man looks left and right, confused. Damn it, I'm all turned around. Threaten him! I mean, like, it is the end of the world. Like,
well,
why?
I don't know,
like,
man, it is gold.
We've like, I mean, in the first game, we like allowed treasure to just be like. I mean, we like
really?
We kind of had to let treasure be destroyed, but like, otherwise we would have killed someone. But like, I don't know. It's like. Because I feel like if these tunnels go across the entire like world of this game, almost like the Mines of Moria tunnels or whatever, is it a smart decision to like be like, let's stop and send people out to look for money?
Spoil the tiniest thing and confirm that these tunnels do go across the interior of the world.
Okay, that was entirely just a guess based on my Silmarillion knowledge, but like
Tim.
Alex.
Tim. You don't think we should get this money, dude?
So, here's what I think. This dude couldn't even remember which direction the gold is in.
That's true.
And you're supposed to send out a contingent from your caravan with the expectation that they both find the gold that was already just lost just now.
And find their way back.
Yes.
A leg of gold. That's a lot of gold, dude. All right.
I mean, I don't know. Well,
it's
like,
fine. It's fine.
Tim probably won't tell me this, but I
have a feeling that's like not a good idea.
Well, I feel like there's going to be like, there's got to be some sort of creature of some kind down here too, right? Like, there's got to be something down here.
Think.
Yeah. Well, and I guess if you lost it already, maybe it's like an illusion or something.
It could be. Yeah, maybe not even a creature. Maybe there's like hallucinatory magic fucking with you when you're down here trying to get lost.
I guess you're right.
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, like, how often do you find like a vein of gold like that thick? Like that's pretty random circumstance. Okay.
Gold does us no good. Maybe not for you. Not all of us got your reputation though. Takes a coin for certain things in town. Others agree, but as you move the caravan along, later others report some people missing. See, some of them went and found it, and then they just are gone. And then they couldn't even find their way back. So some people left anyway.
Sure.
Ditch. What is your name?
It is Ditch.
Ditch. Okay. Man's sudden appearance makes you tense. Do you mean to sneak up on you? Something I do. I mean, I don't know. I'm feeling uncomfortable with this guy.
Yeah, dude.
Is this something he does?
Hide your kids, hide your wife, dude.
Something that will get you killed if you do it to me again. Understood, but it does have its... He's like... Is he just supposed to be a thief archetype, or is he meant to be suspicious in a we cannot trust him either?
I think we can trust him for now. Like,
think so?
Yeah, I mean, you know,
fight you won't regret it. Scoff and turn away. Okay, I mean, I didn't have a choice there. In the light of torches, everyone is covered in soot and dirt. They smell bad. It comes as no surprise when the sound of running water excites the caravan. Has to be some underground river or something. Interesting. Stand back and see what they find. Yeah, let's just... Yeah. So you hear small popping noises, then screams. Let's see his bobbing torches till the villagers run back to the path. They killed them. Yeah, I knew there was some kind of plant. Leaves made the noise like water, but it had thorns and grabbed them. I knew there was going to be some. We should stick to the path as much as possible. Too much can go wrong down here in the face of those passing their friend. Yeah, okay, I knew there was going to be something, so it's plant monsters.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I knew there was going to be something fucking down here. Torches highlight the craggy black rocks and puddles on the path underfoot. Too little to keep everyone together. Sharp turns around boulders quickly block lines. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, damn, dude.
We need to stop and find them.
Do you think you should find them? This is the only time.
Like, we're only stopping this once.
Yeah,
okay. You go do it, bitch. Don't go look for them, but try and signal.
What exactly separated them?
They just wandered off because it's dark, and they're
turning corners quickly.
Yeah,
that's all it said.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think that these fucking...
I'm pretty sure they're just lost.
I mean, yeah, but then if they get lost...
I lost my cousin in a cave once. He walked away from the tour group.
Tell that story, please.
He walked... Well, no, he says we went down into this cave, and then he was like... He, like, kind of wandered off. Did you find that on the couch? Yes, I did.
That's Michael's. Oh. I was looking for it, and I didn't... Okay. All right. I mean, you can fuck with it.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I wasn't going to keep it, but...
I was looking for it to give to him next time I saw him, and I hadn't found it yet, so...
Oh, yeah, I was just stuck between the couch cushions.
You're fingering my couch a little bit.
I always finger your couch.
You always finger my couch?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's you know, like, it's... I like a good crevasse, dude.
Oh, man. Tim, what's your opinion on this one?
Yeah.
Not about the couch fingering, but the game.
I mean, you can tell me about the couches you fingered, dude. It's cool.
Tim's just run away.
He's like, what the fuck is
What are they talking? What the fuck is going on? I'm telling you, man, when we get a PC, we get like a full computer, I genuinely, I eventually like... I mean, like, ideally, we'd also be doing the stream more frequently in general, right. But I really would love if we could actually get Tim to be doing, like, operating the soundboard during, the gnome cannibalism and politics streams, too.
Yeah, that'd be awesome,
that'd be so cool, because get Michael for, like, all of them, make that a regular, and then bring Tim, too.
That'd be badass, dude. That'd be awesome. All right,
just be a good time.
What do you think, Tim? Do you think we get more divided by going out and looking for them? Do you think that could make it even worse? Like, is that a good idea? Is it okay to lose 44 people? That's a lot of people.
They aren't fighters, to be fair.
But what? So are they worth having? Like, do they provide benefit?
Your clansmen can be trained into fighters, and then it is also you're just trying to protect like what bastions of
humanity
are basically remaining.
Well, I'm not very altruistic, so that doesn't mean anything, but.
Well, altruistic is not necessarily an option in this.
Say that this is the only time, because. You can keep moving, but that, if I'm recalling correctly, guarantees that you don't find them.
Okay. We'll stop this once. Appreciate the help, she says, and splits everyone into search groups. As you search, you realize it's just hard to track time down. It's just as hard to track time down here as it is above with the sun that never moves. Sometime later, you think you hear voices to the left. Keep moving.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Is it a good idea to call attention?
Idea.
Yeah, call attention to yourself. That doesn't
just keep moving along the path, right?
Search to the left. You want
to?
Oh, search to the left. Okay. If you move away from the main path, you leave someone with the torch standing every so often. This route proves useless, as it seems you must have heard nothing but an echo. You follow the lines of torches back. Okay. Keep searching down the path. A bit further down, you find the source of the sounds. A mother is holding her children, tucked away in the recesses of a rock formation. She whimpers as you approach, and Folka says, "Better let me handle this." Moments later, you all head back to meet with Zephyr. Surprisingly, all the missing clansmen were found.
Oh,
well, look at that.
Hey,
got them all back.
Nice.
And they found shit while they were out, too.
What
like just food, basically. If it's just forage like that, that's like more food supplies.
What kind of food are you finding down here?
Sparrows are running low. Your quartermaster reports, and I'll be damned if I start licking these slimy rocks for a drink. It might get you high.
Hiking, and stuff on.
These people start getting desperate for water down here. You cut her off. I know. You send out some scouts. We'll camp here until they return. Some of your ravens and other members of the caravan group up and grab torches, rope, and water skins before heading off in a different direction. Better catch some rest while you can. Nothing to do until they get back anyway. Lying down, you focus on the sound of a small drip somewhere in the cave. It grows louder, like the beat of a drum. Like thousands of feet marching behind you, you turn and everyone stops to see the glowing eyes of your army looking at you in admiration. 100 members break formation to dig holes in the cavern floor and place stone bowls in the depressions. The bowls quickly fill with water, and the first is offered to you. You slake your thirst before seeing your red-armored reflection in the bowl. You wake up with a shout. And, that was a dream, okay. What was it this time? I dreamt I was Sumter.
Instruct her on finding water. I mean, is that.
Well, I'm assuming the dream was giving you instructions.
Yeah, I mean, what could be the negative of just having them dig a hole in the ground?
Yeah, just tell her to do it. There, Dig holes, put bowls down in them, see if they fill. There you go. Okay. And all the scouts came back early because.
That's good. Oh, we got some renown.
Yeah. Road bridge with wooden planking crosses and open span of the cavern formations. Looks old, narrow, and not meant for carts. What do you think? Reinforcing or crossing one at a time? Because just keep going seems like the worst option of those three.
Maybe reinforce it.
Give them. I mean, menders seem specifically built for mending.
Basically their job. Zephyr and Nichols move through the crowd and begin tracing patterns in the air. The only thing you see is a slight lift in the bridge, but they walk across first to calm any fears. The caravan crosses without incident. Cool. Okay. Sometimes it's just because of how much time has passed and just like just having less supplies. Seems. At least I think that's what that was.
We need water. Oh, we did get water.
We did get water. Right now we have 23 days worth of supplies.
Okay, that's good.
So we're actually doing pretty well right now.
And I'm glad we got those 44 people back.
Yeah. Oh. And then occasionally there is some legit voice acting.
Something old, unfamiliar. I don't like it. But I don't like all these humans on the verge of panic either. Maybe these dwellings up ahead will calm them down.
Dwellings? That sounds bad too.
I think it maybe just because it could be a spot to. Oh shit! Is that Godstone?
That is a Godstone.
I guess it makes sense that there'd be one down here.
Well, you'll also notice all those holes in the wall.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes me think of that Junji Ito short story.
Oh,
remember that?
That one's creepy, dude.
Do you know that? Do you know any Junji Ito?
Person-shaped hole for everybody?
I don't believe so.
It's like, this particular story,
wild body horror.
He's really fucked up.
Writer, and his thing is he does these crazy body horror stories.
Yeah, he's really good stuff. Well, Uzumaki, I've been talking about that for a little while, couple of years at this point. Because that anime, they're making that anime. 4-episode anime that has been in production for like 4 years, but it's in the show's going to keep the black and white art style and stuff, which I think is really cool. But this one story is it's like an earthquake splits this big piece of land, this big rock.
Yeah,
and
basically the face of like a cliff collapses.
Yeah, it's like a giant
reveals a new cliff face behind it.
Yep.
And what's there's all these human silhouette cave entrances, perfectly shaped like a person.
Yep.
And then people from the town...
For specific people, too.
For specific people. So people from the town go up there to, like, check it out, and then they realize that each one of these holes is shaped for them, and they get this unstoppable urge to walk into the cave, the hole in the cliff face that's shaped for them specifically.
Yeah.
But then, as they go further into the cliff, the silhouettes they start to just like narrow and twist and like all this stuff, and these people are like unstoppably forcing themselves down it and becoming mangled and super fucked up and just like killing themselves by like pushing themselves forward through these holes.
It's a really fucked up short story.
It's very weird and it's pretty intense.
You could do a good like horror anime of that, but it would only could be like one episode.
It's so creepy, because of the way the people just have this unstoppable urge.
Yeah, they like
to
literally
force
cannot
themselves
help it.
forward. They can't. They're almost like brainwashed somehow by some
magically.
Yeah, that's
well, it's very.
But they're talking to themselves about how they need to go forward and how much they want to go, like, and they won't stop, and it's
well, it's very. Junji Ito has been called the Japanese H.P. Lovecraft, and I think that's a very accurate way of thinking about his stories, because it plays with, it's cosmic horror, right? Unknowable entities beyond human understanding that can break and bend your mind and make people just catatonic or insane just by the sheer knowledge of like seeing something or coming to understand something.
Well, also it's interesting because he's so clearly obsessed with like geometry and forms. Like Uzumaki is about spirals.
Yeah, it's literally a curse of spirals.
At the end of the day, the whole like crux of it is the shape of a spiral.
And people are horror of math.
People are twisted into spirals, and animals are twisted into spiral, and just like it's bizarre. Dude.
It's weird. Highly recommend Uzumaki for reading, though, Tim. That's a good one. It's not super long either.
Yeah, he's a genius. He's quite the...
Well, you know that it makes it even sadder, but you know that Silent Hill game that Hideo Kojima was going to be doing, right? Had both Guillermo del Toro and Junji Ito working with him on that.
Oh, wow.
Think about how sad that is that got canceled, dude. That is a meeting of like just genius minds to create something. Yeah. Del Toro and Junji Ito, both like put their heads together and creating monsters for a Silent Hill game with fucking crazy ass Kojima at the helm.
That would have been so dope. That would have been great.
Sever looks up at the giant-shaped formation, glittering with strange glowing patterns. The Vulcan know almost nothing about this ancient racist culture, let alone their god. Vesnan, the name alone might be wrong, but we have a framework of letters based on repeated patterns found around here. She wanders around the glowing pools of the Godstone. If we are correct, Vesnan was not their only god, but he became one of the most powerful at the cost of everything dear to him. She looks at you. Of course, if what you hold dear is something like control, maybe there is power in letting go. Gems of various size and shape are found embedded in the surrounding stones. I like the little sound effects that they'll do of their movement, too. Clansmen are soon hammering away in an attempt to pry a particularly large gem loose. The ringing of hammers echoes through the deep. Yeah, just stop. You're making too much noise. Some look angry, but the fear of the unknown down here is enough to keep them from saying anything. They all move away, though a few look back longingly at the stones. Yeah, I am confident that was the right decision.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't know what the fuck is sleeping down here, that's for sure.
Full of a took. Fucking, that is one of the few, like, genuine, like, comedy moments in The Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah.
When Pippin knocks the skeleton down the well and makes all the noise.
Pippin and Merry provide almost all of the levity in those movies, period. Like they're one of the only sources of... Like,
it is funny to take a shot every time Legolas has a line of dialogue, because it is not frequently. That's a good trick. You know, he only has one line every, like, half hour to 45 minutes of those movies.
Wow, that's crazy.
Legolas is, like, one of the main characters, and he barely talks.
Interesting.
It makes sense for the character.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean...
Stoic elf, you know.
Yeah, a lot of the elves are, very stoic regardless. regardless.
But even the other, even like Elrond and Galadriel, who are like not in like throughout the whole thing, just but in small parts, they have more dialogue in those small parts than Legolas does throughout the whole series.
I guess, I can only think of a few times that Legolas speaks, but he spends
taking the hobbits to Isengard.
He takes a decent amount of time on screen time, though.
He's visually he's there all the time.
A lot, but
didn't talk that much. This is just a thing I noticed. Spearman standing alone, staring out into the depths of the cave. If you take off down one of these tunnels, we're not going after you. Yep. Doesn't want to talk. I like him already. Do you know the worst part about it all? Never mind, I don't like him. Worst part of what? Wildland's life, if you call it that. It's the silence. Alright, well, this guy seems stable.
Yeah, Donnie Darko. Go sit
This is like a conversation. Dude would just start with you on the bus. Yeah. Do you remember when we were just on the bus and that dude came over? He was like, "Are you guys talking about getting beaten up? I got beat up today."
Yeah, that was weird. Like, he was just like really aggressively like, "Yeah, so." And I was like,
I mean, I'm sorry, man. We weren't talking about that.
No,
I
didn't get beat up.
So. Yeah, that didn't happen.
Didn't happen to me.
Let's see. Slept near Ollie. That man makes all kinds of strange sounds. That's just noise. There's a silence from the loneliness. Maybe these tunnels and caves make it worse. There used to be days of talk. We used to laugh. Talk about your famed spear again. Oh yeah, he did. This guy is like weirdly like talking to his spear sometimes.
Oh, that is weird.
Yeah, he's talking to his spear.
He's like,
Bach turns and stares at you with the eyes of a man. It's like all of fucking Thor: Love and Thunder, where they won't stop talking to the inanimate objects that they have as weapons throughout the movie.
They kind of sexually harassed Mjolnir, from my understanding.
They kind of did. To be honest,
kind of messed up.
It's kind of weird.
That hammer doesn't deserve that, dude.
No. You know what? It would have been one thing if they did it like in the comics where Mjolnir actually was physically speaking to Jane, like she was actually telepathically hearing a voice in her head.
Right.
Then it might not have been weird. But every scene is just Thor like talking to nothing and being fucking weird.
That's dumb.
Yeah. So, don't want to go on another rant about complaining about that because I feel like I've already taken up a lot of time on at least one Banner Saga episode just bitching about that movie. Me and Tim, we both have.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Sorry. I haven't even... Man, I didn't even finish Miss Marvel. I haven't started She-Hulk. I'm started to just watch those stuff coming out anymore.
That's very surprising. I don't know.
I was excited about
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
All I saw from She-Hulk was like her claiming that she's had it so much harder than the Hulk. I was like, what? Like the Hulk's like fucking sucks, dude. Like,
yeah, it's pretty bad.
Like he's got a pretty bleak origin story, dude.
Yeah, stuff you may not know, but he
his parents were killed, right?
Well, his dad just beat the shit out of him his entire childhood, so there's that.
Yeah.
And then
but she got mansplained, dude.
Yeah, that's so much worse. Then he got turned into the Hulk.
Yeah.
Right. And movie version is a little different.
Right. I don't really know.
They've never brought up the abusive parents in the movies. Right. I'll be fair about that. I can only say that about the comic version. But also, like, hunted.
Yeah, right.
As like property by the U.S. government across the planet for like years and years and years.
Yeah, that is. Yeah,
I don't know.
His life sucks.
It's like I'm sorry that you're a woman and people are mean to you about that. But
were hunted for several years and ostracized from all of human culture. But
I'm a woman. I mean, that's kind of what it sounds like, right?
Yeah.
That's the
That doesn't exactly make sense.
I mean, like maybe there's a bigger context to that conversation that maybe makes more sense than the full thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe she's talking about like I don't know. Maybe she's talking about like their current like state in life, like at this precise moment. I don't know. I don't know.
Right.
But Yeah, just based off that description, it's like, really? It's kind of cringy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I do. Unfortunately, like, everything gets, politicized and all that kind of. That's what I'm worried about. What these people at Discovery, are about to do.
Well, I'm not even worried about that. I'm worried about the fact that these are the people who make toddlers and tiaras taking over, like, DC.
Yeah, no, dude. That's what I'm saying. It's like. But then,
well, that's not exactly like.
Well, but I saw an executive that got fired came out, and he said, "Oh, they're just trying to make like this kind of like right-leaning middle America kind of like."
See, I don't want that
media conglomerate to go up against Disney, because Disney's going to be like the left kind of coastal.
I want them both company. To be left.
I know that's what I'm saying, dude.
Oh my god!
But that's why they're deleting some of the most kind of what you would call woke content off of HBO, like, and throwing it into oblivion, like not just like making it not exist. Is basically they're trying to distance themselves from what Warner Brothers was before to be the rights and choice for entertainment. Yeah, it sucks. Like, it just should not be the way that movies are made. But
no, it shouldn't. That's I hadn't heard that. That's fucking obnoxious. I mean, I'm already like, dude, like, they canceled a Batman cartoon.
Yeah, that's wild.
That was going to get... and it was not just a Batman cartoon. A Batman cartoon from Bruce Timm, who did Batman, Superman the Animated Series, Batman Beyond, and Justice League. The guy behind all of those.
So lame.
A new Batman show by that guy that was also going to be a spiritual successor to that 90s Batman show.
Oh, that's lame, dude. Because that shit is so good,
but also, like,
some
with
of the best
kid
Batman,
gloves
dude.
off.
Yeah, right.
That creative team,
like a fifth season, like the fifth season of Samurai Jack.
Yes,
dude.
exactly.
That would have been dope.
Now I will say that show, they have said that is being pitched to other services. But like, what is Netflix gonna have this Batman show, and
Amazon,
Warner Brothers' own streaming service is just not gonna have the Batman thing on it? Like, that's what the fuck is that?
I could see Amazon paying for that though.
Yeah.
Now that Amazon is actually
they've done a few genuinely
into some
good
superhero
things.
Stuff, and it's worked out fairly
But
well.
then also, like, then there's the Lord of the Rings show, which looks terrible.
Well, Neil Gaiman said it was pretty good. I don't. So that kind of shocked me. So I do
really like Neil Gaiman.
I will give it a chance because I believe
based on Neil Gaiman.
I believe he knows what, like, quality entertainment is.
Yeah.
However, I don't know. Neil Gaiman has that Good Omens show and kind of stuff, so you don't know how much.
Right, because
you don't know how much he's kind of like
Amazon's
kind of buttering my bread. I don't want to, like, shit on the thing they spent $1 billion on, like, and that's. I have seen almost.
But he could have also just said nothing.
Yeah, that's
true. He could have just been completely.
Well, somebody asked him.
Oh, fair enough.
But I do see a lot of positive buzz coming out. But I do not know how much Amazon is curating the audiences that have already seen it and kind of only showing people that have, like, that kind of relationship where it's like, well, we can't shit on this Amazon thing or it will, like, ruin my career kind of deal, or, like, I'm already connected to it. So I don't know what audiences are being screened at. Because like, look at Rotten Tomatoes. Like, the critic score sometimes for movies is like 30 points off the audience.
That's
score.
true. Batman versus Superman. Yeah. The first Suicide Squad, and the Justice League movie all had positive early reactions.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm saying. I don't know. And then, like I said, Neil Gaiman, I'm just like, I do love Neil Gaiman. I trust his word on quality, but I can see him being like, I'm really excited to see my projects getting life or whatever in Amazon.
Well, Good Omens, I thought, was also a one and done miniseries. He's not
working on that anymore. But also, it's the thing, like, hey, if I'm going to be doing another Amazon can, like, do more work and, like,
Well, also, like, if The Sandman doesn't get renewed at Netflix so far it's done really well, but we're still waiting on a season 2 renewal.
Yeah, right.
Amazon could be where he pitches it to them.
Yeah.
After.
So when you talk about something as powerful as Amazon, putting up the most money that's ever been spent on anything.
Basically.
You can sense that a lot of people who professionally
could
work with Amazon or would worry about what dissing Amazon on something this important could do to their careers. I can see there being a lot of pressure.
Been around so long and is such a name.
No, I don't see it being the end of Neil Gaiman's career, but I could also see him being like, well, I don't want the trouble of being the first person to come out and say that it's terrible.
Right.
Right.
Well, and a lot of people are, that they the show's woke. That's been that's a lot of that on the internet. And I think, my thing is, I think if they really wanted to cast black actors in The Lord of the Rings, they should have gone into the Silmarillion, picked out that very, very brief part about there being an entire African civilization, and then made an entire show just about this. So my pitch is basically an all-black cast, which is which would be the opposite of what the people complaining would want. I just think it's lazy that they're not following the source material. That's my issue with it.
I do worry about that. I do understand. I don't support a lot of the I don't support them writing their own canon.
I don't like that.
But I do understand,
especially if it is replacing stuff that also exists.
Especially if you're invalidating anything.
Because
then that's really
that bullshit. I really am like.
But I do understand where it's there's no narrative in the Silmarillion. The Silmarillion's like an encyclopedia, dude.
Right.
So and it has stories. It has stories and stuff.
I always thought if they were going to do more based off that, it should be an anthology. A bunch of short stories.
So if you are trying to make a narrative out of it, you are going to have to kind of pull some things together, or at least write the story that fills in the gap.
But that's the thing is they didn't even get the rights to the Silmarillion, so they're not filling gaps.
Right.
They're writing something.
So that's what makes me really worried about it, for sure. But I do have major concerns. It was just like sometimes I see something from someone that I respect, and then I'm like, okay, well, maybe I need to give it more thought, based on the fact that Neil Gaiman calls out garbage. He's one of the people that
he straight up personally leaked a movie script for one of the many Sandman adaptations that have been attempted over the years to sabotage because he thought the script sucked so bad. He doesn't give a shit. He's like, no, if it's not good. He seems like, but one thing is I wonder is there has been a ton of people that have been like, oh, the Sandman is super woke and blah 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 too. That's been which I agree with.
Well, that's what I like. I haven't watched it yet, but it is the kind of thing. It's been pretty cringe to watch people say that about Sandman, because their examples will be there's a black woman in the show. And I'm like, okay, well, what the fuck is?
I think there's a real time and place to apply the term woke, and that is when a corporation is disingenuinely incorporating diversity into something without actually putting effort into the writing, because they think that's all they have to do to make something that
when it's pandering.
It's pandering. But Sandman,
to be at the point from the opposite side, to be like, well, it's got minorities in it. It's like, Jesus,
I know. Come on. Well, here's the thing too: the source material of the Sandman. They did race swap and gender swap some characters in the show version, but the original source material of Sandman, coming out in the late 80s and 90s, has trans characters, has gay characters. It was a very, Neil Gaiman's a liberal guy. He's always been and so if you... I think the idea of stuff being woke in a genuine way, that's recent. That's a recent corporation thing where they are not taking the property seriously, and they make weird choices, That's what I think that really means. The Sandman was always a very progressive piece of media in its depiction of people, and so if you're going to complain about that, there's no way you were a fan of the original comic book. You're going to watch the show and have a problem with that. And I think that's what shows you how many of these right-wing people are just fucking grifters,
Yeah, dude.
Because they're talking about a lot of them I've heard, because I want to know what the arguments I disagree with say. I'll go and listen to some of these people, and they they are talking about the comic book as if it wasn't like that.
Yeah,
they're talking.
Well,
they made these changes.
They don't know. That's because
they just Googled Wikipedia, read the Wikipedia, and the plot synopsis, and
that's
no idea what they're talking about.
That's because the worst trait about fucking Americans, dude, is that they will have a fucking opinion about everything. Even if they didn't hear about that shit till it came out of your mouth in the question, they have a fucking opinion. Like, they 100%, they will make up all the knowledge they need to have an opinion on it based on what they think, whatever you said, what its name sounds like. That's like, that's like when people ask people out on the streets and they'll just say some shit like, they'll be like, oh yeah, unreal. Well, the reason I bring that, I brought that up though, and all that people say calling the Sandman woke, and how I disagree with that is that I do wonder if Neil Gaiman felt like I should he should stand up for another product getting the same criticism leveled at it. I could also. So maybe it's like, well, okay, people are saying this about my shit. I know that's not funny. Like, I know that's not true about the Sandman. The Sandman is 100% genuine in what it does. Yeah. I could see something like Amazon making a Lord of the Rings show. I could see how it could feel pandering and disingenuous. So maybe I will think it's woke when I see it. I don't know. I think that, but that's the difference in where I would actually apply the term and not apply it. Right. No. Some of the stuff I saw as far as people's complaints about Sandman, I was like, so the Sandman, right? Yeah. There's just one small detail. There is the dream, death, destiny, desire, destruction, like the endless. These are the characters, right? Yeah. The desire character is like totally meant to be this like androgynous, like genderless god. Yeah. That like that's in the book too. That's what the book is. It also just the idea of an androgynous god isn't even that's not even right? That totally feels like a recent idea. It's in a lot of ways. Gods have always kind of felt like that a little bit. It's a trope of mythology that there are these kind of androgynous, like Hermes is kind of like Hermes is very androgynous. So
fun fact: that's not did you know the great god Pan taught Hermes to masturbate?
I did not know that. Oh man.
Yeah. Pan was
the
so
goat
weird
man
and
comes over like, okay, you gotta try this.
Well, Pan was the inventor of male masturbation. Okay. So of course he just wanted to share it. But also Pan, being one of the older gods, his cloven hooves didn't work too well on the solid floors of Olympus. Okay. And he was too loud, and there was too much going on for him to be comfortable. Was it like a dog trying to stand up in a car? Like a dog trying to stand up in a car. His hands like, oh god, cannot walk in a straight line. Boots on a dog or something. Yeah. And so when he visits his grandpa Pan in the woods, he's just like, hey, have you heard this? If you do this with your dick, it's great.
Damn. So Pan is like...
somebody needed to step in, in a young Hermes' life and get him away from Pan, dude. I'm not comfortable.
That was just a nurturing.
No, I'm not comfortable with Hermes. I'm not comfortable with the young Hermes man going in the woods alone with Pan, the goat man.
It's like the pedophile from Into the Woods.
Yeah, that is what that sounds like.
It's exactly what it sounds like.
And then he's like, hey, man.
I mean, that is what it is in that play. That's what it's supposed to be.
He's just like, hey, you want to see something fun?
It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
Yeah, that's not good, dude. I'm just saying, Greek CPS should have, stepped in or something.
Greek CPS. They didn't have that back then, unfortunately.
No, because the Greeks was,
their child protective services were just preventing you from being eaten by Kronos. Past that, you were on your own.
Yeah, that's about all they would...
I wonder what... Well, I mean, some of the cities, man... in ancient Greece, they all had different... The weirdest thing about ancient Greece is the city-states had such different cultures, where and their ideas on
Who's eating out Kronos? Damn, Ulysses, you always manage to mishear things in the best possible way.
But as far as their kind of like interactions with young boys, the attitude varies from city state.
I'm not surprised that something like that is in the mythology.
Yeah, some of the city states they didn't have rules, and that
at least as far as I know, when Thoth gave humanity the gift of anal penetration, he was doing it mostly to adults. I mean, like, based on the story I heard, it sounds like it was...
Thoth is a good guy. Thoth is Hermes. Like that's,
but with well, I guess Hermes was the victim in that scenario. Pan was the...
But Thoth is directly evolved into Hermes. The Greeks took Thoth. Like, I mean, the Greeks sometimes would be like, "That's a nice god. We're gonna take. We're gonna do that."
Thoth is just concerned about your intestinal health. I'm sure.
Yeah. But they would just go around and they'd be like, I like that god. We're gonna have that god. Like,
well, a lot of
cool one.
Most mythologies take some stuff from other mythology. Like they all have a little bit of that, but they also iterate. They come up with their own stories too. It's really just the Bible that is like all ripoff. It's the only one that's like almost exclusively ripping shit off.
Roman mythology, man. That's like slapping a new coat of paint.
Yes, but Rome also came up with the version of Medusa where she was a person cursed to be a Gorgon and like the victim in this. So they did do little things where they wrote, but it was almost like writing like sequels. They did some of the myths come from Rome. I'm not saying it's not lazy. It is. I agree with that because they did just change the names. Yeah. But they also did write new stories. It's almost like fan fiction, right?
I don't know.
They took what was there and did write some
I think most of the mythology came from Greece. Like I think even after it was Rome.
Oh, was it? I thought Rome did that, but I mean I could be wrong. I could totally be wrong on that.
But I
could totally be wrong on that.
I don't think they roamed anywhere near that.
Yeah, I'm gonna just argue against any innovation.
No. They are. They totally ripped shit off. They barely did anything but change names.
Rome was a country.
Some new stories using those characters. That's all I'm saying.
Country of engineers, dude. They were not capable of a lot of creativity.
No, I am totally agreeing with you. Yeah, but the Bible is only like ripping.
But
off
I do think my guess would be I don't know, but my guess would be that most of the mythology in ancient Rome, being made in ancient Rome at the time of the Romans, was coming out of Greece, like the Greek part of the Roman Empire. That continued to be where culture in Rome came from.
Fair enough.
They developed there was just Rome's culture was just a continuation of the Greek culture. Yeah, it was a trip because it was part of an important part of the empire.
To tell their own fairy tales.
Yeah. I did see the droughts in Europe are so bad that this reservoir in Spain is drying up. They made a dam in the 50s or whatever, but it revealed a full Roman fort that had been buried. Yeah. It's wild how how perfectly they made everything. Those were those were the most organized motherfuckers in human history.
I'm just saying that the Bible is even more so. We're gonna change the names of these things, cut them up, and stick them together.
And Indian kind of.
Jesus dying and resurrecting after 3 days is just Horus from Egyptian mythology. It's just a lot of that. I think the one thing in Christian, the idea of Christian mythology, the one interesting story that, as far as I know, does have some originality to it, is the fall of Lucifer. But that's not actually explored as a story. That's just a background, almost lore detail in the Bible. It's not you can find passages that mention that concept.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Revelations.
But that is the coolest part.
I'm pretty sure Revelations is 100% its own thing because that was a fucking acid fever dream that
Ragnarok kind of though.
Well, of course, every mythology has its apocalypse, but the visual of Revelations is basically an acid trip, fever dream that this one dude had and then wrote down. That came from nowhere, but that dude's deranged fucking dream.
That's true. That's true.
it wouldn't be the first time that a historical prophet was found to have been using like mind-altering substances that would provide basis for the hallucinations and shit they're having. They're just like, look at me, I'm talking to God. No, Dave, you just found some heroin. Calm down.
Right. Well, I mean, they do that. The Bible specifically says that Moses was God spoke to Moses through a burning acacia bush.
Oh wow! Oh yeah.
And the acacia bushes are chock fucking full of DMT.
Yep,
so he was just sitting there inhaling
DMT.
The smoke.
Not LSD, not acid.
Yeah, no, fucking dimethyltryptamine, dude. Like
that's the death hallucination.
Yeah, that's like the stuff where they say like you see like behind the Matrix, like you see things that are beyond human comprehension and perception. So like. And he talked to the bush. He talked to a burning acacia bush. Like, yeah, he was tripping balls off of DMT, dude.
Yeah. Well, there's also, I mean, I don't remember how this conclusion came to be. So if anyone wants to know, you might have to just look into it more yourself. But their early angel designs. Oh yeah, that's true. Sure. Oh hell yeah. The actual like original designs for angels are so crazy. But no, but there is a genuine like scientific theory that the
wheels with the eyes, dude. You know that's fucking DMT trip shit. That's crazy stuff, dude.
Be not afraid,
dude.
Watch Bach with his spear be some sort of prophet.
Maybe, dude.
Well, he's talking about an endless hole shaped like a person, like just like that. That he means metaphorically.
Yeah, right. Not like that.
With that story, but it's funny that we thought about it. Or we're talking about that just now. But no, but I was going to say that.
Okay.
Oh fuck! Well, I might have lost my thought. All right, hold on. It might come back to me.
No, all right, we should play some.
And start killing. It's not crazy. He's alone. Whoever he was, or whoever she was, he still thinks she was the greatest. I'm jealous of her. It would be nice to have someone to feel that way about me. More than last time.
We're doing pretty good tonight, actually.
Yeah, actually, definitely more than last time.
This was like the longest tangent.
That was the most. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to ask Tim, have you watched any of The Sandman yet?
I finished the first 4 episodes.
Oh,
I've been trying to take my time with it just because I know it's a limited run.
No, well, not. I mean, if enough people keep watching it, it's not going to be a limited run. I mean, it basically adapts the entire first volume, the first season, and if it does well enough, there's another 3 books that are that big, or maybe even a little bigger. So hopefully Netflix, 4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah, Netflix needs tentpole series, dude. That's and
I thought this was great. Yeah. I think it is a masterful show. I think it's done very well. I have little criticisms here and there. It's not perfect, but I mean, I don't think you could do a more faithful adaptation of that comic without making it animated. I really don't. I think they get about as close as live action can do.
Yeah, that's legit.
Well, Tim, what do you think of it? I do want to hear your thoughts.
I think it's really cool. Like, the last thing I saw was Neil Gaiman's interpretation of Hell.
Yeah, that's kind of spent a whole episode on that.
Which, like...
Now, in the book, it is more visually fantastical than you get in the show, but I still think they did the best that they could in live action.
Yeah. And I will say that the fight definitely felt like the thing on the playground when you're a little kid where you're just like, oh yeah, well I stopped it with my magical snake.
There's a little bit. I could see that. Now, that is what it is like in the book. I mean, it's imagine like 2 ethereal beings fighting by like throwing concepts at each other. That's hard to imagine.
Yeah, wow, like what they're just saying. Difficult. They're just saying shit.
Kind of, but it's also having like a physical. Yes, but it's also having like a physical like pull on their bodies too.
Oh, that's like some DMT shit.
That is kind of some DMT shit. Neil Gaiman has probably done DMT at some point. Like, let's just be honest.
I would assume so, but yeah, that's some weird shit, dude.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry, Tim. You keep going. I don't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, that was mostly it. Like, just because I don't want to get into
too many spoilers. Details. Yeah.
But I will say, having seen those first 4 episodes, I thought that was really cool. Like, the idea of Dream's realm being tied directly to his presence is kind of like another, like, because I've seen it like in books that reference to a god's realm being an extension of themselves.
Yeah.
But having it visually portrayed was kind of cool because they didn't go too over the top. They just made it look like the realm had been neglected for 100 years straight.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because it's almost the reverse entirely of that. It's almost that the realm exists and that he is an extension of the place. Right, it's almost like because like dream, death, destiny, desire, they all exist because these concepts exist within human existence. So they are willed like into existence. Yeah, kind of like tulpas. Yeah. So like it almost is like. Yeah, it's also their presence is so tied to the place that they
kind of American Gods, kind of.
American Gods totally does like, that, which is also Neil Gaiman. That's also Neil Gaiman.
Yeah, for sure.
No, but yeah, I love that. I love how they handled it. I do want to say too, like, so one of the only changes, some of the only big changes, right, is that the comic book of the Sandman does take place within the DC universe. It plays loose with the continuity of DC, but Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, these characters are in Sandman.
Interesting.
Not a lot, mind you. Like, most of them have small appearances over the course of the story. Occasionally, maybe there's a bigger role or a bigger appearance by certain characters. But so the show it mixes most of that because I feel like that would be hard for a new audience to totally wrap their head around this other crazy mythology, and then also Batman shows up, but also Superman. Like, it might be a little confusing. I don't know. I think in animated form it would be easier to do that, but there are pieces of the DC universe that are still there, and so David Thewlis. You know him, right? Like, he played Professor Lude, the werewolf teacher in the Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah,
He's a veteran. He played Hades in Wonder Woman. He's just a veteran British actor. He's seen a lot of stuff. He's a big, like, villain in the show, and in, like, the first half, because it's like they'd have 2 story arcs in the season. And the character that he's playing in the show is a Justice League villain. It's Dr. Destiny. Do you remember that episode of the Justice League cartoon? There's the villain that's like invading their dreams. And he's got like the skull face, and Batman is like going. You like actually see Batman like getting coffee to keep himself awake. And it's like this guy with the skull for a face that is like invading all their nightmares and trapping them in their dreams. No, it's been a while.
Justice League. It's been a long time since you watched that.
But that villain with this crazy skull face and a hook for a hand, trapping the Justice League in their own nightmares. Okay. That's the same character David Thewlis is playing in this show. Like, as much he doesn't have the skull face in the comic. He's you see him in Arkham at one point. In the show, it's like just kind of a hospital.
Right.
So there's like they nix some DC elements, but some of it, like having this whole character, it's so impossible to root the DC stuff out entirely that you still have some in there.
That's cool.
So Tim, you probably had no idea that character had anything to do with Justice League or the DC universe in general, but
yeah, I hadn't based off of the show I've seen so far, I would say that it doesn't really seem to be detracting too much.
I don't think so either.
Which is honestly something I'm like really glad for, because
it could have too.
Yeah,
if they did it wrong.
How do you feel about people have been pretty positive on House of the Dragon?
I haven't watched it, and I genuinely don't give it.
Yeah,
you know what? I'll watch it.
Once season 1 was pretty good.
No.
Okay.
If I hear that season 8 had a great ending, the series has ended, and people were satisfied with the conclusion, and it's been on for like 8 years, and then I'll be like, all right, now I'm going to start watching it. That's when I'll give it a chance.
All right.
That is good. It is going to take it literally having come out, had an entire run, and a good ending before I even try and give a shit.
I get that.
Yeah.
That's true.
That is how I feel. What if it has an end that is common? Well, then maybe I'll just watch the last season.
Oh my god.
If it's hilariously bad, then maybe I'll just watch that part. But I don't care about Game of Thrones. Like I just don't think you can get me to care. Yeah. It could be great. It could be really, the spinoff could be amazing, and I still don't care.
How much nudity you think's gonna be in the Rings of Power, dude?
I hope. I'm concerned.
I don't want to see elf titties.
In Lord of the Rings? No,
yeah, it's not.
I don't either, man.
Yeah,
that's just not. It doesn't make sense.
That's not that's not Tolkien, dude.
No, the only way that I could see the cock Rings of Power is good. The only way I could see there being nudity is like a translucent, like kind of shaping, moving god, like a literal god that is like kind of weird and inhuman, and then maybe has some. Oh god,
there's no gnomes in this. Okay, Tolkien. here's something.
Here's got him started.
There's all the fantasy races in Tolkien. Tolkien has got dwarves.
A lot of them.
He got goblins.
He does have goblins.
He's got elves. He's got orcs and trolls and all
lots of stuff.
Runs the game.
Hobbits. I mean, he made that one up.
He made one up.
Yeah.
But there ain't no gnomes, dude. And that's because Tolkien knew gnomes fucking suck. Like, he just knew. He just knew that he couldn't put that in there. Like, that's unbelievable. Like, just like, how would he...
What if a dwarf wears a pointy red hat? Would that do it for you?
Nope. That's not a gnome.
That's not a gnome?
Yeah, it's still a dwarf.
At best, a gnome cosplay.
Yeah, I mean,
a dwarf cosplaying a gnome. That it would be weird, because I doubt cosplay would exist inside of...
Yeah, you're really fucking up Lord of the Rings for me at this point, dude. Like, if I cosplay, people like cosplay as gnomes in the Lord of the Rings, I'm out, dude. Like, that's not interesting.
That would still be gnomes in some form being inducted,
right. But no. I mean, just think of how many fantasy races that Tolkien did bring in.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no gnomes, dude. There's no gnomes.
He invented a lot.
Yeah.
He invented quite a few.
Yeah,
I mean, Balrogs are original.
Yeah, right.
A lot of the gods are all totally original. George cosplaying gnomes doing sex is what you want to see.
No, not interested in that, man.
That's I just think... Are we going to find that if we look at your search history?
Nope. You would definitely not find that. Tolkien didn't leave out that many of the kind of classic mythological,
that's true,
like fantasy races. But he did not put gnomes in there.
And also, some of this I'm just reading in my head while we talk, because I feel like ultimately I will still grasp the story.
Yeah, right.
If somebody's watching this, they can read. I leave the subtitles on a little bit.
Yeah, right.
And that way us talking doesn't necessarily hinder as much progress. Yeah. Ditch is, he wants something. That's not everything you've ever seen before.
I bet you didn't talk.
Unfamiliarity nags at you. Actually, Alex, in the Silmarillion, it's mentioned that gnomes are the master. That's bullshit.
No,
I know that is not true.
I know there are no gnomes.
There's no gnomes in the Silmarillion.
In Middle Earth, there's no gnomes in all of Tolkien lore. I know that for a fact. And I think it's because he thought just like me, like, there's nothing good about a gnome.
There's a mystery lady. So, like we don't recognize her.
I don't She's like that.
Like, this guy's, can't help but just this guy's, obsessively paying attention to her. I'm wondering I don't think it's because he's being creepy. I think maybe it's because...
He's worried.
No, I think it's because there's, something
Or she's siren.
Like enchanting, maybe. Okay. Stop, turn your head, and open your jaw. What's that sound?
Like a beat or something.
Like a beat.
Oh.
Hope it's not Pan. God, dude, I'm never not going to be able to think of Pan as some sort of sexual deviant, just masturbating in public now.
Well.
You haven't read the full thing? There's like a Dead Sea Scrolls of gnomes for Lord of the Rings. There is not. That's horseshit.
See, now even saying...
There was a Dead Sea Scrolls, I would know. See, don't you try and put gnomes in my Tolkien.
See? Yeah, you see, now you understand, man.
Well, I've always agreed with you that gnomes they are lame. They do suck. It's just that you have a passionate, burning hot hatred that I don't like them, but you do just detest them on another level. But if you start talking about trying to put gnomes in the Lord of the Rings, I will cut someone.
Yeah, right.
I gotta go feed some shithead cats, so I will be right back.
Oh, hey, no worries, man. The show could suck. I don't think they're doing that, and also it's not even out yet.
Even Bezos knows that's a bad idea, dude.
I mean, at least I hope so. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's into gnomes. You don't know, man.
Dude, he might be the reason gnomes are everywhere, man.
Do you think it's like a conspiracy headed by Jeff Bezos? He's
like I said, I am.
Does he know who you are then? Does Jeff Bezos monitor our conversations?
Maybe he does, dude. All I can say is it does seem like gnomes are this cheap replacement for culture. Like it's just like think about like you have this gnome template.
Oh, is this a cutscene?
Oh.
White Tower.
Oh yeah, it's a dream. So we've seen this dream once before.
Can we pause it?
No.
Is Tim gonna miss that? Oh,
okay. Well, Tim has played all of these.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. He's on this as a co-host, coming from a perspective that he has completed the whole series. Ulysses actually has played all of these too.
Okay.
So.
But no, dude, I do think it's a simple template that you can just reskin. They're just reskinning gnomes. It's like Funko Pops. Like every Funko Pop is unique, but it's also just most of them are just reskins of of the
There's
same
like a
basic
few
form.
different ones,
right?
That maybe that have a bit of a different.
But one of the reasons that's so profitable is that they're pumping out basically the same thing.
There's literal molds that they
so they're pumping out a lot of the same thing with like minimal changes and then having to pay that is kind of what gnomes are, and now as gnomes start to replace, you want to make a leprechaun and make like an elf for Christmas, or you want to have one gnome that you reskin, just reskin, and you got it's almost an assembly. I feel like that's a big part of it. Is they're like gnomes.
So do you think the rise of like mega corporations and like the dystopian future that we're looking at is also what's causing the rise in gnome statues being everywhere?
I think gnomes are going to be the cultural equivalent of Amazon, where it's kind of like
the cultural equivalent of AIDS.
Well, kind of. But don't I feel like it indicates the same thing about the culture that like Amazon or like that mega corporation in WALL-E. Just this kind of thing where it's just it's cheap and it's the most basic, simplest, universal form of kind of like this thing that you just kind of force it into everything until it's just dude, I mean like the fact that there's summer gnomes. Like the people want to pick up what are you going to decorate? No, I wouldn't.
Funko Pop?
I would not. But just that concerns me, dude. I
actually looked up. I searched for gnome Funko Pops to get one for you, and that actually the crossover of those two brands has not. No, there isn't.
There is none.
There is no gnome Funko Pop, from what I can tell. That has not been crossed over. I was hoping that there'd be a World of David Gnome Funko.
Oh, if there was gonna be gnome ones, I would assume it'd be for Romeo and Juliet. I don't know what else.
It's coming. I mean, I'm sure at some point, but the fact that they haven't already is surprising.
David Gnome is so fucking irrelevant, dude.
I don't know, man. There's probably like you and some other 80 or 7-year-old women who want to fuck
dude, it's like a Spanish cartoon from the 80s, like that was dubbed in English.
It is actually
like limited.
It is actually from the 70s, so it's even older and more relevant than that.
I do, however, think it was on like late night sometimes.
It was on television in America,
like reruns. Yeah,
when it first came out.
When I was a kid. Yeah, and
it was in America on television. It was.
Who gives a fuck? Dude?
I'm just saying, people saw it. Yeah, there are like people that are old enough.
Yeah,
you know what that is.
But why
I bet you Corey and Martin on Double Toasted. If you ask them, I bet you they'd know what that is.
David, no. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I should write into their show when they're answering questions. I should write in
and ask if they know
about David Gnome and their thoughts on gnomes in general. And
oh my god,
yeah, I can believe Alex spends late night watching it. Really late nights.
All I can say is that the gnomes suck, and Tolkien knew it. And you should know it too. If you Tolkien, the ultimate authority on fantasy and what's good in fantasy,
just kind of left that
shit out as he combed like all of like mythology and like everything. He did not want to put gnomes in there.
The Balka says quietly, softly stepping forward, something is wrong.
You know he heard about gnomes.
Right.
You know he knew what a gnome was. He knew what a gnome was.
Oh yeah, that was an intentional
that was an intentional choice on his part.
Yeah, there's definitely no way that was an accident. Feel more than hear sound vibrations through the cavern floor. Get ready for anything, you say, and they're going to spread the word down the line. Each fighter drawing their weapons. Volko, you're getting us out this one clear. Wait, what's that?
Prepare for anything.
Like gnomes.
No.
A sea of like the zombies in World War Z, just a flood of gnomes. Show gnome mercy.
Yeah, that's.
No.
I think I did finally come up with one of the things that people should be able to redeem their channel points for. Now I don't know exactly how we're going to do it, but it should be like it should be some sort of animation that like plays across the stream. Like it'll be something we'll have to use on the PC, but it'll be like I don't know how many for like 10,000 channel points. No means gnome, and it'll like glare some like gnome animated character across the screen.
No, dude. No means no. No, dude, I don't like that. Like what?
Yeah, but I do.
Well, fuck you.
And I think everyone else will.
Oh my god.
A World War Z pile of gnomes. They're climbing up a wall. They're just half Alex. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what the animation is.
No,
World War Z.
I draw a line and I'll just leave.
You'll leave?
I'm not gonna watch. You can have a gnome dancer.
You won't see it, but the audience will see it.
I'm just gonna walk away. If I know you're doing that, dude, I'm gonna hit a podium like on my way out of the door and just be like, I am not responsible for the shit these motherfuckers are making. Like I was not aware that there was gonna be this animation, this disgusting display of fucking debaucherous fucking gnomes. I did not consent to my likeness being subjected to that. That was not okay. No, I'm not.
No?
Hell no, dude. You better not.
We'll table it for now.
We'll table it.
We'll circle back.
No.
We'll circle back.
Well, you call me Jen Saga, man, because I ain't circling back. Like, you get the fuck out of here.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
Alex, what are your thoughts on minions crossed with gnomes?
Well, I mean, I don't know about you, Alex. I hate the minions. I do hate the minions.
You know what? I gotta tell you.
The minions already are like gnomes. They're gnomes crossed with SpongeBob.
Yeah,
that's what the minions are.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of
made them immortal.
Did they?
Why?
Yeah,
I mean,
they
are better than minions.
At, the dawn of creation or some shit.
I'm sorry, man.
And it shows them trying to kill the minions in so many different ways, and they're just like fucking unkillable.
But they do. They do.
I think the minions are worse. I think the minions are worse because they are like gnomes, compounded by and then even more exaggerated. So they're like gnomes then on like another iterative level.
Yeah, well,
right?
it's like
that's why I think they'd be worse.
And the reason. Like the middle-aged women who put gnomes in their yards are the same ones that like post all the minion memes and like
that is true.
Like,
actually,
dude, it's
a lot of middle-aged women that are into the minions.
It's a
I don't know
one-to-one overlap to the people who post all the fucking minion memes.
Not about one-to-one, but we just got raided by Afternoon Tune.
Oh, what's up, Afternoon
Tune? What is up, dude?
Yeah, how's it going, man?
How was your stream? How's it going? I dipped out when you started talking about when you started doing your Better Call Saul review, just because I haven't watched the last season, so I had spoilers or whatever. But I hung around for a little bit before that, and it was a good show. I hope the rest of it went good. Well, welcome in, and thank you so much for that raid. But you're not wrong.
It's a one-to-one overlap. The women who got the gnomes in the yard, like if you got a gnome in the yard, you got at least one
some sort of new enemy type.
Meme. You got at least one minion meme that you managed to post on one of like the 5 Facebook accounts you have because you keep on forgetting your passwords and create new accounts.
Cats get clicks.
Oh yeah. But
see, they only do that because they also forgot the password to their email.
Yeah,
so
I know.
They had to get a new
email.
So
they had to get a new email, and then they had to create a new Facebook account because they couldn't get in the old email. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
That does happen.
You see that.
And then Linda never got the test result email. Linda.
But yeah, no, and then minions have a lot of the same like behaviors or aesthetics that like gnome. Like you see, like everybody wants to have a gnome who's
the
like
ADD, constant.
Yeah, right. Or like the gnomes. But like, how many gnomes, garden gnomes, have you seen where it's got like its ass crack out or something like that, or whatever? Like the minions. Like, why'd that minion have to put a thong on? Why'd that minion have to wear a thong? Like that doesn't.
You're right about that.
It made you really understand that the minions are naked. Like, why'd they do that, dude?
Because you can just think about the fact that they
I'm okay thinking they're not naked, but like as soon as you like have the minion put like the bikini on, that's weird. Like
that is weird. You're not wrong. Lots of. Well, Tim, what about you? What have I, Tim? I forgive me if I'm just asking you a question I've asked you before, but like, do you have any real thoughts on gnomes or minions for that matter? Are you? What's your feeling on them?
I believe I was the one that brought up today that gnomes are fucking. Not gnomes are, but minions are fucking terrible. Oh my god, gnomes I can kind of give or take just because of how like they've just been around for ages.
Yeah,
Right. Ulysses said it's the Winnie the Pooh problem. Why he got no pants if he needs a shirt.
Yep.
Yeah?
Well, it's like they banned Donald Duck in Finland for years because he didn't have pants on, and they were just like, no, that's not okay.
Oh, shit. Okay, so now there's a Sunder that can resurrect the dead ones? Shit. Alright, well, it's...
Do you guys know how much, the propaganda...
Which one is that, though? Which I don't see that one actually on the map here. The one that's resurrecting.
It's not this guy behind you?
No, it's not. Okay. It's not. It's like off screen still, or it's not like actually because they showed it in that little cutscene. It had the wraps and shit on it. So also nice seeing like this part of the cave. How fucking cool does that look too? That background. This Sunder can be really hard or really easy. She mind control. Oh, so she is. Oh, okay. So she is in that one because it's got the blue light over it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, okay. Can I... Oh, I can't hit you from right there. Damn.
Like, did you know how much, Donald Duck's, World War II propaganda kind of thing, do you know how much that's canon to, his character and, influences everything about that character going forward from him having been in the war? Like, he's got PTSD, dude. Like, that's basically canon to Disney.
PTSD?
That's
so the
weird.
reason why they're with fucking Scrooge McDuck, his kids.
Yeah, that's why they had to stay with Scrooge McDuck.
Because he's got PTSD from the war?
Well, no, because he's in the Navy and he's off to war, dude. Like, that was the original reason that they were staying with Scrooge McDuck and everything like that.
And not to
I don't think I ever knew that.
Donald Duck for his service as a propaganda person.
Oh, there she is.
He
now
does
she's
oh, yeah, he's got like a medal
file. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's
yeah.
got like an actual file that you can look up, but you have to get a fucking requisition form as if you're looking up the files of somebody who was actually in the military.
That is bizarre.
Yeah, that's weird stuff, man. But
yeah, there's also the cartoon where he's actually a slave to Nazis.
yeah, that was weird. That one's like he's having like a nightmare in that one though, because doesn't he like wake up and he's in America and he's like, oh, thank God, like I'm in America, like the best country on earth or whatever. Like, that was the moral of the story.
Yeah, oh my fucking God.
Shit, I guess you go fight over there. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, no, we can take you out. Alright. Fuck yourself.
It's also weird how like Donald Duck is like an important part of like an entire generation of European children's like Donald Duck was like the most important animated character in Europe for years. Like, and it's because of the comics. Like, people would read the Donald Duck comics, not even because of the cartoons. It's like I've never read a fucking Donald Duck comic. I've never seen one.
Do you know that there is a Donald Duck comic that is like from back then that is almost beat for beat the plot of Inception?
No, what?
Yeah.
There are some crazy ones. Did you know
Inception, oh shit, oh, you just bring her down and then the fight's okay. Ulysses is trying to bring the cape down. That was easy. Damn, Ulysses, you weren't kidding. Or at least it can be easy. Yeah. That seemed very simple.
What's up?
Yay, afternoon tune. Thank you so much for that raid, dude. How you doing? How you doing tonight? Hope the rest of your stream went well. Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing good, man. Alex, you doing good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Tim, you doing good?
Oh, I'm doing grand.
We got Ulysses in the chat, too. Ulysses, you doing good? I was trying to bring the cape down on our heads. So this is another Sumter, though. This is another one of the, uber powerful ones. Could you be doing better? I mean, I suppose. I could have a margarita. Margarita in front of me.
You know,
like crows, clouds, scans to be reporting for their lives. Just keep them all together. Emitter eyes goes wide, but he nods. Turns to you and says, "I'm sorry if I was a nuisance." The large rock falls nearby, and he stumbles away back towards Eyeless. Just begins to trace. Oh, so is he dying? He'll be doing 15.5% better. Could my blood alcohol be 15.5%? It could.
No, you'd be dead for sure.
Well, but I mean, in the process of getting to that.
What do you mean?
I mean, it would kill me, but would it be a bad death? Would it be an unhappy death?
Yeah, dude. If you had that much alcohol, and
it would be really fast.
Vomiting yourself. Yeah, you probably would.
I don't even think I'd vomit before I was dead.
That's true.
I think it'd be pretty peaceful.
If you're 1.6, that's like twice
to 100%. There you go, like an Irishman.
I think
Irishman.
the highest people get to 2 or 3, dude. That's the highest. That's
my sister had alcohol poisoning one time on her 22nd birthday. She had ice cream for breakfast and then drank for the rest of the day.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's wild.
She's never enjoyed drinking since.
Yeah, I would do it, dude.
You 77.
I got alcohol poisoning off of tequila once.
Yeah, you've never been really a big tequila fan since, right?
I'll drink a margarita now.
Yeah, but you can't,
but I don't take shots at tequila.
Oh, yeah, no. Because I will. I totally like tequila for shot drinks.
No, I'm ruined. It's ruined on me.
Yeah.
But I do like a margarita.
Dude, I love a good margarita. I don't remember if you asked me if I saw it. I think you asked before it came out. But I have no plans to watch it. I have no plans to watch House of the Dragon.
You're just too heartbroken after you did Lost, right? Did you do Lost?
I watched Lost, up until it ended, and then I watched Game of Thrones. This happened 2 times.
So you're not willing to let it happen.
It's not even that. I didn't promise about Game of Thrones. I promised to bring Rings of Power, which I will. Which I will. I will watch Rings of Power. Whether good or bad, I will watch it. House of the Dragon, I don't. But I mean, Game of Thrones had an ending so bad that it erased itself from pop culture. Like,
you
I
better
don't know.
go watch that right now, Sage.
No.
Remember? Come on, dude.
No.
Come on,
like I said, I will watch House of the Dragon.
Come on.
When it's been on for 7-8 years, and it's had its series finale, and I hear everyone else talk about how it had a satisfying ending. That's when I will watch House of the Dragon.
Alright, I guess, dude. You don't guess window twice.
Maybe a lot more dumb content, but I just don't care. Yeah. Oh, yeah, people were freaking out. I did see people were freaking out about the first episode not having a trigger warning, because there was, like, it's like a violent, like, gory, like, C-section or something, and I'm like, do you not realize that the fact that the show is on HBO is the trigger? That's the trigger warning? The TV-14 is that's the content warning? Rated M for mature on the video game, that is a content warning. That already exists.
Wow, dude, I mean...
It's pretty bad. I mean, like, fair enough if it's gory, but, like, do people not remember watching Game of Thrones? Yeah, it's Game of Thrones. That's a trigger warning, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's what a content warning is. Rated R. That's the content warning. PG-13. That's the content warning. The content warning, the idea that people need these extra trigger warnings, like, that already exists. Well, if you don't think you can handle something that is made for adults...
kind of, like, also, isn't that kind of like a spoiler? Like if you're watching, if I start an episode of House of the Dragon and it's like, warning, this episode contains gory C-section like footage or whatever, it's like, okay, well now I know that's coming up at some point.
Yeah. I could totally see that. Yeah, if a trigger warning is like too specific about like.
But you think you
warning
want it? I think like the trigger warnings are fairly specific.
Well, but then if you put it on every episode, then that's just the content warning that already is on all content that is legally
why would you put
released by any company.
Why would you put a trigger warning in there if it didn't happen? Then you just get through the whole episode. You'd be like, when was the C-section? Did I blink?
Right, I don't know. I'm just saying. The reason we have content labels on things in the first place, that's already serving the purpose that people think that trigger warnings need to exist for.
That's what we need to start adding phantom trigger warnings.
Just to trick people.
Like warning. Yeah.
You could fuck with an audience that's like trying to understand like a mystery story, I suppose, or like really trying to guess what's going to happen.
Yeah, but that sounds more like kind of your like. That level of like intricacy and kind of whatever, that's almost like SCP, like fucking creepypasta type shit. Like,
no, that's fair.
Yeah, which I mean, some of that stuff is pretty interesting.
I'm just saying, trigger warnings on media and content to me it doesn't make any sense because there's already a content warning. Like when you look at the back of a movie box and it says rated R, it also lists for drug use, pornographic scenes, sexual stuff. Like it says that shit already.
Drug use, nudity, like strong language, like
right. That's what those things are for. So why would we have another one on top of that called something else?
Oh, Tolkien.
I
mean, a physical fight? Like still Tolkien. Like,
Tolkien is dead.
Yeah.
And I still think he might win against against George R. Martin.
George R. Martin, like, punches his coffin and just falls again, you know?
My money's on Tolkien. Corpse or not.
Yeah, that's true.
So the Isles grows quiet in the distance. You watch the form of Sunder shake and struggle to maintain its form.
Oh, Tolkien
for sure, by far.
Tolkien's a seminal, like, in the great authors of human history.
Yeah,
Martin, they're good books.
Like I think George R. Martin is a really great author for his time.
Yeah,
I think Tolkien is one of the great authors.
I would put Tolkien up there with like fucking Plato, dude. Like, he's one of the greatest like authors in human history.
100%. Yeah. So honestly, I don't even think it's close.
Yeah.
Then it fades like snow blowing over hilltops. A few more rocks tumble down. You grab the sagging Valka before she is crushed. Yeah, also Game of Thrones, the books went way downhill. I'm 100% with Ulysses on that. Book 4 is 80% Cersei eating dinner and thinking about what she might do to like someone like she doesn't like. That is like 80% of that fucking book.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Because if you, I've said it before, but Game of Thrones, you got 1 through 3 all right in a row, and then originally the plan was there was going to be a big time jump, and then 4 would pick up years later, and then he changed his mind, and then books 4 and 5 are about what happens in the time that he was going to skip originally. Normally, if you have a time jump in your fucking story, it's usually because you're going to skip over a bunch of time where maybe only a few things happen or not a lot of interesting stuff happens. Yeah. There's a reason that a time jump would have made sense where it does.
Right.
Like what's going to be book 6 if it ever comes out should have been 4. That should have been what book 4 was, right?
Yep.
And I think that fucked up the books pretty bad too. Because 5, even though it's better than 4, is also not like the best either.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. The first 3 of those books are awesome, but after that.
Yeah, for sure. I got you.
And even in those first 3 books, there are some moments like, I don't know. There's a lot of good material, but like they're not perfect.
Yeah. Whereas
I think Lord of the Rings is kind of perfect. I'm going to be honest.
Dude, yeah, there's nothing wrong with
those
books, dude. Then The Hobbit.
Like I get some people don't love how wordy that they could be. I like it, dude. It's just so rich, dude. He created a universe and detailed it as thoroughly as an actual reality. That's what is good
languages and languages and cultures and entire histories of races and dude. Yeah.
Aragorn, man. Easily.
Oh, 100%.
Easily. Jon Snow, I don't want it. What else do you have to say about Jon Snow other than I don't want him?
Yeah.
No, Aragorn fucking kicks Jon Snow's ass any day of the week.
Aragorn is the great prodigal son of all of fantasy.
Like fantasy fiction.
Of that coming home to claim his birthright and stuff like that.
That is
so fucking
character.
badass. That created an archetype that did not in fantasy.
It's legally required in every fantasy story have a made up language because of Tolkien.
That's true, but Tolkien made multiple languages.
He made a shitload of languages.
Yeah. Well, he was a linguist.
He was trained.
He was trained as a linguist.
Yeah, man.
He was really a cunning linguist too.
Oh my god. Was he? Is that known about Tolkien that he ate good? He ate pussy good. Do we know that?
Yes.
Is that? Are you telling me that we know this? Historically?
We did definitively.
Definitively. Can you point me to a source? Tolkien gave good head.
It's called I Made It the Fuck Up.
Made it the fuck up. Yeah, Dr. DeJune, thank you for the 30 biddies. Right, thank you so much. Appreciate you. You're always too kind.
Wait.
So Tolkien ate good puss? Is that... Do we know this? Is this historical?
He was a crawdad fisherman.
I believe it. Ooh.
All right.
Is that slang for that? Because I don't like it.
I don't know if I like that slang.
I'm down on the bayou. That's it.
Going down on the bayou.
Ooh.
Really? Somebody who worked on Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul is doing Rings of Power?
Not Vince Gilligan, though.
Not Vince Gilligan, but someone on those teams is are they the... Is it the person that's the showrunner for Rings of Power? Worked on Breaking Bad? Because that is a surprising detail that would make me, give it more of a chance.
Yeah, well, I already, like I said, Neil Gaiman saying it was pretty good.
That does make you go, all right.
That made me go, I need to give it a little more of a chance.
Because I've been very
Wow, just from the concept itself, scares me. But
if a big creative behind Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, Jennifer Hutchinson. Oh yeah, I totally remember that name.
Okay.
All right. I mean, that is a positive sign.
Right.
So Neil Gaiman saw at least one episode and said he liked it.
Yep.
And someone that was very big in involved in Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad is working on it.
Yeah, so those are both
positives. Big positives.
Yeah.
So those two things will make me give it more of a chance.
Mm-hmm.
That definitely gives
me. They did spend $1 billion on it, dude.
Greatest fantasy storytellers of our time, Hajime Isayama, dude.
Yeah,
Hajime Isayama.
Dude. He's
that is the current.
He's almost
right now
Tolkien level. Dude.
It gets fucking so
the
wild.
People alive right now. Yeah, I do think he. I don't know, fantasy.
Attack on Titan is fantasy.
Well, it is. Yeah, sure.
That totally counts. Outside of that, I think you're gonna. I think you could list off some of the best Chuck Tingle. Sure, I'll throw Chuck Tingle up there. Why not? I think. I don't know. I'm like, do you count comic writers? Neil Gaiman. Honestly, I think Neil Gaiman is one of the greatest fantasy writers of our time.
Yeah,
things like the Sandman, Alan Moore is definitely up there. If you're taking fantasy, his Swamp Thing and some of that stuff. I think Grant Morrison is up. I think there's a decent amount of comic book writers that I would put up there. Only the best of the best, but
yeah, right.
Remember how Grant Morrison answered that really basic question at Comic-Con with this explanation of how time works on a conceptual level. And it was he just went off. Grant Morrison is, I think, one of the greatest writers of art. But I'm trying to think of people who write fantasy novels. I'm trying to not think of comic books necessarily, because Neil Gaiman's got books under his belt.
I don't know of much that has come out in an epic ground shaking
in recent
novel in recent
novels,
memory, dude. Even Stephen King has managed, but not fantasy.
Some good
not fantasy.
If you Dark Tower.
Oh yeah, I suppose.
The Dark Tower, the Dark Tower then links all of his other stories into a multiverse. Right. So you could really kind of look at any of Stephen King's books as fantasy. Granted, I also think his books vary greatly in quality.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. He's written some truly iconic and great stories, but he's not a consistent. He's not a consistent creator.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to think of. I don't know. Novelists don't seem to have these massive epic undertakings as novels.
Yeah, so American Gods. That was pretty epic when that came out. That was
for sure
early 2000s, late 90s. I think that one was really great. I don't know. If you're going to expand it to any medium or genre, then I could say Grant Morrison, maybe Jonathan Hickman, I think, has done some really exceptional work. But I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to say. I don't know. I guess one of the problems too is that eventually the great creators come out and they create something, revolutionize something. And then everybody is kind of an imitation of that forever. All fantasy comes from Tolkien.
There was fantasy before that.
Yeah, but just not, he created the genre as it existed from then on.
He changed it so much and innovated to such a degree that everything else
in a sense, almost everything
he
fantasy
recreated the genre.
Yes, but everything fantasy is done in Tolkien's shadow, so it's so hard to
think of anyone better
or get to that level,
or even close.
I feel that way about genre. One artist will kind of create a genre or something, and then it's so hard to see somebody doing the same thing and not just be but he's the GOAT.
Right, but this one's better.
Yeah.
Well, I honestly, like I said, I do
think Attack on Titan gets very
maybe
close.
the closest.
Yeah,
I think that's honestly the closest.
I think it gets close.
That is my favorite fantasy story in the last 100 years since Tolkien. Last great fantasy film. Do you count Endgame? in Infinity War.
Those are comic book. Those are superhero movies.
Right, but superheroes
genre
can be fantasy, or they could be spy, or they could be sci-fi.
Yeah.
But superhero is not necessarily a genre.
That's for sure. But I mean, it was. It does feel like
the superhero thing.
Yeah. You can have niche stories involving comic book characters that live in different genres, but that was a superhero team up.
I totally agree. But so much of it is in
great
fantasy and magic, and I'm just
does
that count at all? I mean, because if it doesn't, then I'm really trying. I'm not coming up with anything else immediately off the top of my head. Because the Lord of the Rings, again,
anything that
in terms of fantasy filmmaking,
I was so disappointed with how that.
Let's specifically say swords and sorcery. Swords, it's like stuff that has got the swords and sorcery kind of classic fantasy. Let's restrict it to that. What is your definition? Because I guess that's a good question because what you're thinking about fantasy.
I could vary, fantasy. I'm thinking your
Lord of the Rings,
your multiple fantasy races, Dungeons and Dragons kind of stuff. Your
swords and sorcery, right? I think Ulysses said it pretty well. Yeah. The swords and sorcery,
even King Arthur.
King Arthur, totally.
Some of the weirder takes on Robin Hood, go ahead.
Thank you. I think it's got magic in it as a crucial world building aspect.
Yeah, Star Wars is fantasy.
I really like to think of Star Wars in this weird
Dune is
genre called
space fantasy,
called science fantasy, where it is this weird in between thing. And I would put Dune and Star Wars. in that.
Dune and Star Wars are science.
I still wouldn't quite call them just fantasy.
Yeah, that's right.
I really liked the new Dune.
I did too.
Yeah,
it was a major improvement over the David Lynch one.
Well, the David Lynch one is fucking terrible.
It is bad.
Good. I think it's bad even if you haven't read the book, but especially if you've read the book, that is a terrible movie.
Yeah. Well, that movie does nothing to get across the psychological. I would say Harry Potter.
I also didn't think the Harry Potter movies were.
No, I'm not. They're pretty spotty. I like 1 and 2 a lot. I think Chris Columbus gives some real magic to it and gives it that kind of detached 90s kind of movie experience, which I enjoy.
Sure.
But otherwise, 3's not too bad.
I enjoy the first 4.
Good.
I enjoyed the first 4. I think even though they don't all, the first 2 have a very special tone.
5 is fucking terrible.
5 killed the entire franchise for me.
Terrible.
5. The Order of the Phoenix movie killed the series for me.
It's one of the worst movies.
I remember I didn't even go see the rest of them in the theater.
Hype,
I think.
What?
I didn't even go see the rest of them in the theater after that, or at least if I did, I saw them at a cheap theater after it had been out for months.
Right? Yeah, I did. There was not an event for me after 5.
That 5 killed the whole thing.
Nope, that was.
So I would say no on Harry Potter being. Well, honestly, the first 2. I think are great fan. The first 4, even, you can make an argument.
Well, I think the books. Well, we're talking about books, aren't we? We're talking about
we switched to great fantasy films.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we switched over to films.
Yeah.
The
first two are Home Alone meets magical border, meets Harry Potter, because it was Chris Columbus brought that feel to it, and it really worked as kind of these iconic kids films.
They did totally. And like I said, I think animation. I think animation would count. Well, I say Attack on Titan.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so my number 1 answer is going to be Attack on Titan. I think that is the best fantasy story since the Lord of the Rings books came out. I really do. But I say animation.
Are you thinking Castlevania, Ulysses, which I haven't dived into?
That is good. I don't know if I would be greatest of all time. I really like the Castlevania show. I do feel like I'd have trouble putting it on that level.
Sure.
On
a level with
Attack on Titan
with Peter Jackson's.
No,
I get it.
No, I don't think so. I like it, but not that much.
I don't know. I do have a lot of respect, and I do find it kind of disappointing to.
These are new.
I consider
stealing my health. Fuck you.
I consider from Tolkien's era to have some of the great authors that made like truly iconic.
I'll like these guys? That means I won't like these guys. Great.
Yeah.
Oh shit. 7? Oh fuck, man. These guys are tough. Yeah, I think so. Who did Jon Snow even actually fight that was, like, notable? Like, and, like, actually win a fight against? Did he win a fight against anyone that really mattered?
I mean, yeah, Aragorn, dude, in Return of the King, when Aragorn's just, like, charging into battle, dude, that's...
He cut the head off the mouth of Sauron without even fucking, like, giving a shit.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
he fucking...
I mean, he comes back like a god king, dude. Like, yeah, I don't know.
He got those ghosts respect.
He did what, like literally what Jon Snow fails to do is
what Aragorn
is doing, yeah.
So, I think that the fact that he is as unimpressive as he is... Oh, did they just fucking, like, overtake my turn?
Your energy, or what?
Well, I also think they fucking stole a turn.
Oh, that sucks.
They, like, interrupted my character's animation, it looked like.
That sucks.
That's some bullshit. Alright, yeah, these are definitely a huge bitch.
If there's anything that makes something better, it's tentacles.
Yeah, Jon Snow. We're gonna bring you back to life, but I don't want it. Did Aragorn sleep with his aunt? I think not. Checkmate. That's a very good point. Yeah. That's a very good point, Afternoon Tim. She's really upset because her nephew won't sleep with her.
Oh my god. I mean, unfortunately...
That was hard to take seriously.
Pretty realistic. Well, I mean, but unfortunately, it's pretty realistic to your, like royal family dynamics.
Yes, but as a story in 20...
Yeah,
you know, whatever, it was hard to watch that and take that seriously.
Gross, but...
Jesus, yeah, they are just leeching health from super far away.
But that's like the inbreeding of royal families.
Oh, up 100%. Well, but you know what? The Lannisters. Yeah, that made sense. I took that.
Made sense, yeah.
A lot of incest is going to happen in House of the Dragon. Yeah. I don't even think it's necessarily that I'm saying that it was hard to take seriously because it was incest at all, but because it was dumb and the writing was dumb and the scenes they had together were dumb.
I don't know.
That's all you're gonna do. Oh wait, what? He made it so that my attack hit a different character. Is that what just happened?
You're kind of getting your ass kicked.
I'm getting my ass kicked majorly right now. Lord of the Rings also had a better Sam. I don't think there's anything better about Game of Thrones, except for maybe its potential.
Yeah.
I think Game of Thrones could have had such great potential at one point in time that there could have been an argument that its potential could have maybe
I do think one thing that Game of Thrones
okay, damn, all right.
One thing that Game of Thrones has that Lord of the Rings doesn't. I don't know if I would say it makes Game of Thrones better, even if it reaches potential. It's just a conscious decision I think that Tolkien made in writing Lord of the Rings. Mm-hmm. But the idea of there is some intrigue and politics and stuff in Lord of the Rings, but it stays mainly outside of that to tell an epic kind of bigger story that doesn't zoom in on these
smaller
machinations and kind of smaller things or whatever.
You got a little bit with Lord Denethor.
Yep, right.
But
and Wormtongue kind of whispering in the king's ear and everything. But those are not explored in the kind of court intrigue. There's no court intrigue, long scenes of court intrigue or anything like that in Lord of the Rings.
Now.
I think that's good in that story, but I do think Game of Thrones might have had a potential, maybe not to tell a better story, but a more complex and in-depth story.
Certainly more morally complex.
Yeah,
because there are good guys and villains, and not a lot of gray. There's not a ton of gray area. In Lord of the Rings.
And there is something cool about telling a story, a fantasy story, where you do kind of get an idea that there is politics and there is
it made Game of Thrones feel unique.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I mean, that I think in a way like Game of Thrones maybe did have more potential to tell like this really complex story than Lord of the Rings did. But
yeah, I think that's the only way in which Game of Thrones had it.
I also like the Lord of the Rings for not having that. Like that's also like, I don't think everything needs to have that. So but I do think that is one thing that Game of Thrones has that Lord of the Rings doesn't.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's not like Martin's idea of why he made more of why he made Game of Thrones more than his actual story. Lord of the Rings didn't have someone pushing a boy out the window. I mean, like, I think that's a good moment of story in Game of Thrones. Yeah. But it wouldn't fit. It wouldn't fit the Lord of the Rings at all.
Yeah. And I mean, the Lord of the Rings is a much higher fantasy than Game of Thrones. Like Game of Thrones
32. Oh, that's because it's been eating my health this entire time.
Oh, so that was the one. You probably should have been killing that one first.
Well, I think all of them could have been doing that.
That's so fucking 26 damage.
Yeah,
holy shit, dude, he's just eviscerated.
Yeah, no, there's literally no way I'm gonna win.
Yeah, that's fucking.
No way I'm gonna win.
Oh my god.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay.
That's wild. Yeah, he's gonna take you each one.
Because your health is also how much damage you do.
Yeah, one hit kills. Really? That's wild, dude. Damn.
Game of Thrones should have had a kid thrown out a window every episode.
But
the running bit of the show should just be which kid is gonna get thrown out a window.
They just take turns.
How would you feel about putting Berserk in
They get nerfed in 3. Good, honestly. George Lucas will probably 60 years from now be remembered like Tolkien. I think so. I think he will. I just disagree. Yeah. No, I think he already is. Yeah. Honestly, I think he already is. Yeah. I just disagree.
Yeah.
I just disagree.
Well, George Lucas is like the first Star Wars
I think he's honestly a terrible storyteller. His editors are the only reason that made the originals good.
Everything that's good about the originals is in despite of the George Lucas thing. The only thing that George Lucas has a sense for aesthetic and setting that allowed him to kind of like craft the feeling of Indiana Jones and the feeling of Star Wars. But like his storytelling ability is shit, and like people are constantly saved those movies from his worst excesses.
Harrison Ford refused to say all the dialogue they wrote for him. Right. Tolkien doesn't have the taint of the prequels to bear. True, but there's a lot of love for the prequels now. There's a lot of love for the prequels.
Well, it's kind of ironic. Well, it morphed.
That's true. There is no Jar Jar in Middle Earth.
It went from ironic love from the prequel memes. And
I think it's just like different generations now being old enough to voice their opinion on it. But because I think it's the people that were kids, like young kids when it came out now, and maybe some stragglers that feel more emboldened to like talk about why they like it now than they did then. But I do think that went from being a lot of like memes from it, because it's one of the most memed movies of all time, to the ironic love. 62, holy shit. Yeah, I lost a lot of dudes. No one named though, none of the main characters. Which you can have main characters can't die if you lose a fight.
It's pretty intense.
Not always, but it's like very specific places, I think. But shit, man.
I mean, it's rare to get a book. I mean, like, I do think Frank Herbert is on that level. It's
just the only reason I say like slightly different, or I maybe wouldn't put that there. It's just because because it's that weird science fantasy crossover, which I feel like Dune almost invented.
Yeah, Dune definitely
invented that genre.
Dune,
Star Wars
Dune inspired. Like Star Wars rips off a lot of.
Oh yeah, Star Wars is Dune dumbed down for kids.
Yeah,
honestly, is kind of even the good Star Wars is kind of that still.
Yeah, right.
Except for KOTOR. Maybe KOTOR is kind of the exception. Let's see, this George Lucas, so many iconic quotes, like it's like Poe. See, I don't think that's as interesting. I don't know. People like to quote that a lot as like a
quote. What
the storytelling of the series, and like George Lucas once he said, there's a quote of him saying it's that the storytelling is it rhymes with itself or whatever, and people use, but the examples that people then say that and then use that are the things that that are things I don't like about Star Wars, which is them repeating themselves and then bringing it back to characters you already know and regurgitating scenarios with different characters that we've already seen. That's exactly why I don't like Star Wars.
I just don't understand. I don't understand that George Lucas built this entire universe
with so much
history and so much potential to tell any stories at any time,
and then he keeps telling the same stories.
Well, but then he just like chases like
toys.
It's not even him anymore. It's just whatever people do with Star Wars. But it's always just like, let's go.
But he did the same thing.
Let's go get an explanation of like some of these Star Wars movies have become like History Channel documentaries where
about
they're
shit
like
you did not
about shit you didn't care about. Like it's like a biography channel documentary on Darth Vader, on Boba Fett, on Obi-Wan, on the Death Star. Like it's just, like how was the Death Star built? Like it's like how it's made. Like it's just
I know. Like I don't need to see these things.
Yeah,
that's why KOTOR.
Like sometimes things can already exist.
For once, Ancient Aliens would be fitting.
Yeah.
I am the Death Star, but bigger. Yeah, that's happened several times. Honestly, though, my thing is like outside of KOTOR, what Star Wars story has genuinely complex morality? A story that does not repeat something that happened within the same series.
Yeah.
And like characters that actually make choices that have like real depth.
Right.
And, like,
well, it's set so much further in the past, which is badass. And then it's about things that happened even further in the past. Like that's what's crazy about me is it's already set in the past.
Dredge have their own mentors.
And then it's obsessed with something that happened even further in the past, like prehistory of Star Wars. Like that's wild, dude.
So this one is like talking to us.
Okay.
And apparently the Menders actually know a bunch of the Dredge.
Oh.
Is what she just said. That's an interesting story development.
They know the Dredge.
Is this Dredge going to be a playable character? Is this us finally getting like a Dredge character?
I will say, if you just keep the Dredge around in the third game, yes.
Fuck yeah, okay, that's cool. I like that a lot. I was hoping that would happen.
From here on out to basically every Dredge at every opportunity, and it makes for some really cool story development.
Sick, then we're going to do that. Ask it what those things were. Yeah, let's take his speed. Hawkeye again, make unfamiliar sounds. You also mentioned bringing up Berserk.
Yes.
In that fantasy conversation.
Yeah.
I would actually.
It is such an immersive and rich kind of world.
It's been going on so long that it is so goddamn complicated, the mythology now.
Yep.
Also, like it's that thing where it alters its genre and its medium for having existed.
Right.
Final Cloud Sword in Final Fantasy VII is basically the Dragon Slayer from Berserk.
Right.
The anime, the new big fan story. Yeah, I mean, Berserk, Japan, like manga after that.
Yeah, I mean, Japan seems to be one of the only places where there's a decent amount of creators that are trying to build new worlds, you know? And a lot of times it turns out terrible. Like, there's so many animes that are, like Darling in the Franxx, which
there are some great ones.
It's a radical, is a radical sci-fi fantasy. It's just
horrible,
but it is trying to build an entire new world instead of telling a story set in like the regular world.
Right. How many bits for me to watch all of Dragon Ball Z? Oh my god!
Oh my god, that's years of your life.
Is it Dragon Ball Z? Okay, here's my question, because I know a bit about Dragon Ball Z to know that there is the original, or is it Dragon Ball Z Kai, which is the whole series, but it's been condensed down. So are you talking about the original version of everything, the longest version, or are you talking about Kai? Okay, Dragon Ball and... Okay, so only Z has the alternate version. So all the other ones, but what about... I just want to know specifically, because that cuts down so much time. The Kai version of Z cuts down a lot of time. So I'm curious, does it have to be the original? Because I don't know.
When did the Berserk movie come out?
The Berserk anime trilogy came out 2012, 13, 14, so 1 year.
Okay, so it is significantly newer than
like you can get away with just
Lord
watching
Rings,
Kai.
so.
God, I don't know. That would have to be like, well, because
you're gonna watch Naruto and Boruto, dude?
No, I don't know if you could pay me enough for that.
Come on, dude, you gotta watch Naruto, dude.
I don't know.
Naruto.
Dragon Ball Z is already a lot, and I will tolerate some Dragon Ball Z because I like the video games. That in a way that I don't think I could tolerate with Naruto, dude. I don't think I could do it.
You better run like Naruto, dude.
No.
I hate the fact that I've never seen you run like Naruto.
You hate
dude.
that?
Yeah, it pisses me off.
I love that. I've never done that.
You piss me off, dude. You better run next time. Next time I see you, you better run like Naruto, dude.
How much to watch all of One Piece? Oh, good God.
Afternoon Tune. You gotta ask him how much to do the Naruto run, and then we'll post it in the Discord.
Nothing. Nothing. You can't. No, you can't pay me
You better
enough.
run with your arms behind your back.
You cannot
like that,
pay me enough. I'm sorry. You can tell me I'll be a millionaire tomorrow. And
how much to do the Naruto run, dude?
Nothing. There's no amount. There's no amount.
Oh man.
To get me to actually do that. I don't know.
Dude, you know what? If you
a channel reward. No.
Dude, if you did that, every year, I would buy you one of those, like, digital picture frames or whatever.
Of me doing it?
With you doing it.
Why would I want that?
Every year. Every time I need to get you something, I would give you
How is that a way to convince me to want to do it?
Another digital picture frame video of you doing the Naruto
You're only
run.
making me not want to do it even more. How much for me to do the
Did you know that
I haven't learned how to do that.
Do you know where Kamehameha comes from?
No.
It was literally the name of the king of Hawaii. Like an ancient king of Hawaii.
Yes, I do know this story.
Yep.
I do know that story. I'll do the Kamehameha before I'll do the Naruto. I don't feel nearly as dumb doing that.
Did you know that Naruto running is actually, it predates Naruto? Naruto is just what popularized it.
Okay.
Now, the entire running style, the putting your arms back for efficiency, is based off of the shinobi style of holding one of your arms close to your sword with the other one kind of back and out of the way. And then when you hold the weapon, you are supposed to like change your stance. But when they have their weapons out in these shows, they're not changing their arm style, they're just flailing their weapon behind them.
I mean, that's not doing it correctly, right?
That's what I'm saying. I know that the ninjas and kind of they'll run with their hand kind of like on their hip on their weapon, and then they'll have the other arm kind of swept to the back behind, like tucked behind their back. But it's not like where you run and you just have your arms behind you like flailing like just randomly. Like
okay.
If there's no flailing, I don't know. I don't want it.
I don't think I could handle Yu-Gi-Oh! Either.
You better sing. You gonna sing Pokemon, dude? You gonna watch all the Pokemon?
I won't watch it, but that's a good theme song.
Yeah,
that's actually a good theme song. So I mean, like,
do you remember when? When Herman Cain was quoting that Pokemon movie?
Yeah.
That 2012 primary, the Republican Party lost their mind. Like the people that they were like considering.
Clown car.
Anyone but Mitt Romney. That was the problem. Was Mitt? They would literally consider anyone that was not Mitt Romney. Like they did not want it to be Mitt Romney.
Herman Cain was literally the poke. His tax plan was from SimCity.
Was from SimCity.
Yeah, he tax plan from SimCity.
Right off from SimCity, dude. And oh man, when he quoted that Pokemon movie, and people were making fun of him, and then he said the quote again, and he's like, I guess this quote is from the Pokemon movie. And I was like, dude, that's your concession speech? You're gonna like just straight up be like, I'm gonna say it again.
Now, what, to sing them? I don't know. That would be, I don't know. I mean, a lot of those are in Japanese. I mean, the Pokemon one's not, but... So I don't know how...
See, you don't even need to learn how to say it in Japanese properly. You just gotta learn how to say it exactly the words.
Sure, learn the Japanese words without actually knowing what they mean.
Exactly.
I mean, like, some of it I pick up on just from watching so much.
Well, you just need to, like, follow English the versions. Beat. You go like.
Here's the thing, though. I'll do that. Yeah, can I just do that? I'll do scat versions. Yeah, I'll do scat versions of all the
mildly. You do the mildly. You do that offensive thing that people do, where you just say whatever random words you'd be like.
But I'm not a good singer. I can't do that.
Sushi, Mitsubishi, Yamaha, like.
Yeah, it's gonna just sound offensive. Yeah. It's not gonna go well, man. It's not gonna go well.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. To do an entire series of Dragon Balls, I would be willing to do all right, here's how much does the box set of a season cost, or how much does a subscription to a streaming service that I can stream it from cost?
Yeah. So I can't really.
They needs to be that, and then it also needs to pay for the time I'm spending.
Right.
Like, it needs to either pay for me to get a copy of it, or at least subscribe to the streaming service, and it has to pay for the time I spend watching it.
I do have to say. That I just saying, remembering the first kind of
So we're being as nice to this thing as possible.
Yeah, right. But I don't remember exactly which season, because they always change.
For which one? I'm sorry.
Attack on Titan. I can't remember exactly which one, but there's the one that kind of sticks out the most to me. Seems the most. Maybe it was the
season 3, part 1.
I think so.
You're talking about the. You're talking about the one. It has more English vocals.
Man, I don't know if I could do a good rendition.
You're talking. Oh no, you're talking like the na 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 na.
No, not that one.
That's.
Where it's dun 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 dun.
Are you just talking about the first one?
Is that the first one?
Dun 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 dun
yes.
dun.
Yeah, that's the first one.
That's the first one. That's the very.
That's kind of I was just singing that specific, trying to sing that specific.
Oh, just make the.
But with that, does it sound
next year?
Does it sound kind of like a heavier version of Chocolate Rain? Is that the beat? For that? No, I'm serious.
It's Attack on Titan, just a heavier version of Chocolate Rain.
I'm just saying the bass line and the beat and everything. I'm not kidding, dude. We have to listen to that later. Because when I was saying
I
was like, it sounds like I'm trying to sing Chocolate Rain, but I also feel like I'm properly doing justice to the Attack on Titan.
I genuinely think I have to hear it again.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll listen to it later.
Also, Attack on Titan, the show, the book's already over. The show will be ending. It will be ending in 2020. Oh yeah, no worries, dude. Attack on Titan will be ending in 2023. The final season, part 3. That will be the actual final chunk of episodes. Between 8 and 10 is my guess, based on how much of the book they have yet to cover in the show. It is just about to be over. It is just about to be over. Super, super soon, which, is surreal to me, because that's been, my shit for, a decade. I can't believe it's been that long, but, yeah. So, next year, man, I can't wait. I honestly, when that is over, when the whole series ends, I actually do want to. I want to do a big, long, just podcast stream. That is it. I don't want a game going. I want to just a just chatting stream. I want to do Alex, Ulysses, Michael, Tim, No Name. I want all of us to get together and do a long in-depth review of the entire series. I think that once Attack on Titan's over, just a couple of us, or all of us that I can get together, just do one long podcast review. I think that would be a lot of fun. So I'll binge it when the final season comes out. Oh yeah. I
plan on rewatching it basically as soon as
it's over.
Finished,
yeah. I mean, I've rewatched and rewatched and rewatched and rewatched it like over and over again in general, and I will probably do that once it's all over, so I can watch the whole thing from beginning to end. I will. I know I will. I'll totally do that. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, there you go.
Check on that Attack on Titan.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He's going out to smoke real quick, and he's going to listen to Chocolate Rain and Attack on Titan and compare them so he can come back and give us an analysis of that. But no, I'll totally binge the whole thing again. I mean, I'm telling you, I could teach a class, I think, on Attack on Titan. I know that story so well from just dissecting it and going over and over. I mean, Tim, how many things did I predict in that story because I picked every tiny little detail apart so goddamn hard as it was coming out?
You fucking destroyed them with facts and reason.
It's like a big, 2015 music video title. No, we totally heard that.
You actually... Okay, good. Thank God.
No, you were muted. You're good. I just like that because it's like the title of like a YouTube video from like 2013.
That's great.
Damn. We'll soon be in our world again. Interesting. Are we going to get to see more of the Dredge's like world too? Is like more of their society?
That's one of the reasons that I was hoping that it would be longer, the third game.
Oh, sure.
Because I feel more like that is the thing that they could have expanded on more.
Interesting. Okay. Well,
so they do give you a ton of information about the Dredge and like why they are, how they are, and like what they motives and shit like that.
Yeah.
But we get so much more of the fucking Horseborn.
I mean, I do think the Horseborn are cool, but it would have been nice for them to... It would have been nice for it to just spread that, though, and just do that same thing for all of the different beings. Do I have a tattoo of Attack on... I don't yet. I would like to get that started in the near future. I just haven't had the money, really, for, to be able to. But, yeah, so, so like a third or so of my back is taken up by this. I have a giant, like, steel-plated armored dragon on my back, and then I'm basically with the Attack on Titan tattoo I'm going to get is basically going to take up the rest of the room on my back. Or at least make it so that or maybe even not all of the room, but I won't really be able to do another big image for sure. Beyond that, like it'll be those two on my back, and that'll be what's there. Get your old face tattooed to look like the Armored Titan. It'll be killer in job interviews. Well, dude, honestly, like I would never get a face tattoo. Or probably a neck tattoo. I can get the cat back.
What about a collarbone tattoo?
Yes, I would go over the collarbone. I would go near the collarbone. As long because I could, I mean, like a V-neck won't cover that, but like if you're wearing like kind of normal fitted T-shirt, that'll cover that up. Like you can't see that. My rule for myself for tattoos is that I just would never get something that I can't cover up with. Yeah, that cover. It's the cat's opinion.
A reasonable clothes.
I don't know. A cat better like Attack on Titan, or you just go drop you off the shelter.
You're finding a new life to fucking live.
No, I love you. This is the cuddliest cat too. This is the one that is like you pick her up. Maybe not always, but she is often just as like, okay,
It's definitely there, man. Chocolate Rain and that Attack on Titan. They do have some similarities in just like the sound of them.
I never really would have thought about that, but shit. All right. Well, that'll be some big topic of discussion when we do our Attack on Titan series podcast.
Maybe we'll talk about it a little bit.
No, I don't know. But my rule for tattoos is you just as long as it's got to be covered up. Yeah. Right, like you have to be able to cover it up.
Yeah.
I would maybe do
like on your hands.
I would maybe do some stuff on my hand, on my like knuckles, if I was at the point where like my job was streaming or work. Oh yeah, of course. Or working on my books. If I was making money off of that stuff and I was like privately in business. To Attack on Titan ripoff Chocolate Rain. That might have to be I don't know, man. That's pretty funny. Yeah. That might have to. Maybe that should be the title of this episode.
Sure.
of this Banner Saga episode. But yeah, I would. But even I'd maybe do knuckles tattoos if I was like with whatever creative projects I was doing, I could privately fund.
Yeah.
Like if I had enough of that going, then I would be like, all right, knuckles like, maybe. But even then, I still don't think I would do any. Not you. Yeah. No, not you guys. I don't even know what it would be, honestly.
I do think there is something to be being able to like still achieve a level of professionalism that like you can't when you have visible tattoo. Like when you need certain situations, you want to be able to like
exactly. I could put on a long sleeve shirt and you can't tell that I have tattoos.
Right. Yep. Exactly. Me too.
I mean, even for you, even a short sleeve shirt.
It does peek down a little bit. Down a little bit further.
That's true.
Than that.
That's true.
I mean, I don't mind it.
But like, I got one like down here.
Yeah, on your arm. Yeah.
But no face for sure. No face
knuckle
ever.
Tattoos.
What about your eyes, dude? What about your eyes? You can get
what about your ass?
Eyes? Did on my ass?
Yeah. What about the ass tattoo? I read a headline. Just the other day.
Some people get like an octopus tattoo where like their asshole is the octopus mouth.
That's horrible. Who's that for?
Don't know, dude.
Who's that for?
Do not know.
Who
Do not
is
know,
that
dude.
For?
I don't know.
Think anybody's gotten a Sarlacc pit?
Oh, man, dude. That's what George Lucas did to Star Wars, dude. Oh, that's terrible, man.
But people do get their assholes tattooed, though, man. I read a news headline the other day. This was like a real, well, I wouldn't call it a real news website anymore, but it was tattoo artist incredibly uncomfortable after. Would you say patient? Like, would you client?
I guess.
After client orgasms during butthole tattoo.
Oh my god, dude.
That's a headline I read.
I mean, like, when I got my tattoo, like, the dude came over with, like, the paper towel and the gauze and everything and, like, wiped the blood off and all that kind of stuff. I couldn't imagine after the tattoo you just having to wipe stuff off the table. I'd be like, dude, come on, man. I'd just be like, this is bullshit. Not okay.
I am a tattoo artist. I did not sign up
for this.
For load wiping. That was not part of the job.
Jeez.
I'm sure tattoo artists can refuse to do certain
workload.
Yeah.
Good one, Tim.
That was good, dude.
Oh shit.
I'd be so mad, dude. I'd be like, no, I don't do this. This is not my job.
Damn. All right. We're
man, you
get split there.
Wrecked.
Oof. Oof. Well, Volka did not like that we took. She was very upset. It's not daylight. Does that mean that like darkness that because it said literally like
you've been
darkness
down by like
eating
a
the world.
third. Your
yeah, I did. Is that the darkness that we heard about in the first game, but haven't actually seen? The thing the Dredge are running away from?
Oh, damn.
I'm assuming, because like the giant like Jormungandr serpent said basically that there's a darkness swallowing the world.
That's wild, dude.
And that the world serpent creature was like supposed to usher in the end of the world, but for some reason it's being stopped from doing that because its other thing is happening instead.
Oh,
so like even the world serpent is like,
oh shit, something bad is going on. Yeah,
there's like almost every, and then so now we've jumped to the other caravan.
Okay.
So of course they are going to do a cliffhanger there.
Yeah.
Also, it's 1:30.
Yeah, it's getting late, dude.
We'll read up this conversation, and I think this probably will be a good stopping point to end the stream. Cool. We usually stop at 1. We just got very into anal tattoos, I guess, but...
Yeah.
Looks like everyone's almost ready to move out. We're about as patched up as we can expect to be. If you have any other business to handle before we leave, now's the time. Toss aside a whittled stick, and I doubt we'll get out of here without talking to that old man again. Gets eye jewelry. Oh, well, you brought up the eye tattoos, too. The people that actually
do the eye
ink in the eye. That's
they, like, get the whole white of their eye dyed, like,
insane.
red or something. Yeah,
that's fucking crazy.
Terrible, dude.
Like, why would you do that?
Or they do the all black, dude. Oh,
so you look like fucking demon.
Like, you look like a demon, yeah.
This is a whittled stick, and I doubt we'll get out of here without talking to that old man again. I think his name's Yoser. He seems he's the temporary leader since their governor was killed. Oh, cool. Okay. And there we go.
All right.
Camp.
Well,
ooh,
it's a good stream, dude.
That was a good stream, man.
We actually made decent progress on it. We got through the whole cave, so... Like,
we did the whole cave in one stream, basically.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Sick. All right. Well, Tim, thank you, as always, for being an awesome co-host. Alex, thank you for guesting.
Yeah, for sure.
And thanks all of you guys for hanging out. Afternoon Tune, thank you for the raid and the bits. Ulysses, thank you for hanging out.
What the fuck, dude?
And thank you for being here.
Now, I know that, let's see, or at least I think, oh, no, he's, okay, never mind. He's already done streaming for the night.
Do that.
Alright, we're gonna raid... Yeah, we'll raid Julian. Yeah. Alright. Have a good night, everybody, and we will see you next week.
Or else.
Or else.
Yeah, you be here. That's how you build a brand with threats, dude.
Yeah. That's how Grandma taught me.
Was it like your grandmas who taught you how to threaten people?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's
She's
what
like,
grandmas
hey,
are
if
for.
you need to shake somebody down.
I tell you, my grandma, she taught me how to shake people down.
My grandma could squeeze blood from a stone.
Oh, that's great. I want to hear like an over-the-top Italian gangster say that in something.
Just people act like my
Jimmy
dad.
the Bricks mom.
Yeah.
Jimmy the Bricks grandma.
No, like people act like my dad was the force behind it, but my grandma was the muscle. Like talking about
when shit went down, she was the one with the knife.
I needed to take care of a store. I sent her down there. Like, just take care of it. Like,
oh man, she come back with twice the money every time.
Yeah, blood on the baseball bat.
Grandma runs the numbers.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Nice.
It was a solid stream.
That was a good stream.
Oops. Oh, I thought you did stop.
I think it was